What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hope everybody is well. What's going on? Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys for rocking with me here in the Lady Luck Club. And I just want to say thank you to all of those who have watched and supported the like button, engaged in the comments, in the chats, because all of that contributes towards the growth of this channel. We have a great show for you all tonight. As I said I would do, I said I would go over two of the lawsuits that the Prince of Pancrust Pizza was involved in. One of them being a lawsuit he actually filed against Lenon Honor, and another lawsuit regarding, what's his name? Is it August Archibald? And this lawsuit with Archibald was naming three defendants. That's Umar, Poetic Flacco, and Shaquem Harris. So, and I think there's another John Doe. So we're gonna go over, the letter Archibald sent. This is going back to July 12th, 23. But as I told you guys previously, I'm still learning and catching up. So a lot of things, information videos that are out there, aside from, the last stuff, the newest stuff that's been posted within the last, 2-3 months, a lot of stuff is kind of new for me still. So I'm still learning. What's going on, Francisca Manny, our Chief Receipts Officer? Francisca, everybody speak to everybody as you come in. Hit that like button. Let's get these videos up in the algo. Subscribers are growing, supporters are growing rather, and we want those likes and comments and engagement to match. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button, and shout out to all of those who received a free membership today. I did gift out the 10 free memberships that we all content creators get every month from YouTube. So I finally got that gifted today. So 10 new people, or maybe you had one before, you got one today, but 10 additional members of the LLC. Shout out to all of you. I am going to do a members only live. I know I want to pick up, of course, with the Spanish that we were learning, and go over some other things and shoot the breeze with you guys. But it has been a lot going on. So like today, my youngest son, he was been sick for since Friday actually. And just trying to nurse him back to health, make him well enough so he can go to school, maybe not tomorrow, but the day after. But it's been a lot happening with work and all of that. So make sure you guys just tune in. I will do a members only live because, I want to be able to talk with you guys and show my appreciation. But until then, make sure you guys enjoy the new videos that are posted up in the members only. There's definitely more to come. I'm excited. So, man, we have those two cases we're going to go over. And I have not been able to get my hands on the actual lawsuit he filed against Marianne Lorien, even though I definitely want to go over that. Just haven't had the chance to get my hands on it. But hopefully, we can cover that one this week too. So, let's see here. I want to start this off with something that something humorous. How about that? Shout out to Black Anonymous. She told me that Lenon Honor had a video of the Prince of Pancrust Pizza's weird ass telling the social worker sending them away or something like that when they went to check on his mother. So I did ask Black Anonymous to email me the link to that. That would be awesome. And maybe we can check that out in this stream. But I'm going to try my best not to hold you all too long because it's a school night. And I still have to, brace myself for work. So I'm gonna try my best to keep it down to 2 hours. Is that all right with you all? And of course, we'll be back and have more goodies in store. Tomorrow, I really want to do the watch party for Carbonation. So if you guys want to hang out with us and support that, of course, it shows diversification in the content because I don't just focus on Umar. So, um, but whatever we don't get to cover tonight, we would definitely cover in the next live that we do, not tomorrow, but on Tuesday. So I hope that, unless he does something random out of nowhere that must be discussed, it will come through in the next live. T. David, shout out to you. Let's get it. Y'all ready? This is something else. I just want to start off with some laughter and some comedy to kind of warm us up into this. As you all can see here, this is from Nostalgia's living room. Shout out to Manny. Sent me the first recommendation on this Oswald Bates skit from In Living Color because it sounds just like Umar. There's no denying it. So shout out to Nostalgia's living room. They have a little over 26,000 supporters. Fantastic. So make sure you guys go over and show some support. Give them a thumbs up and let them know that Lady Luck Club sent you their way. But these videos from In Living Color are spot on when you're talking about Umar. Spot on. Because he's just like this. He's a clown. So let me make sure I get everybody in. Everybody speak to everybody. Hit the like button. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Oh, Bennett blogs. Lawsuits require discovery. Umar doesn't want that. Exactly. Plus, when we go over these two cases, you'll see exactly why he does the, intimidation and threat of lawsuits, but then never really follows through with it as well because, he doesn't want the discovery, but it's also a financial issue. He can't afford the cost. Attorneys cost money. You got to pay court fees. You got to pay filing fees. And I don't know how the hell he got these attorneys paid. Like what, they settled with Marianne Lorient, but how much did he pay the attorneys? Because they didn't do that for free. I highly doubt it. So, yeah, don't want discovery. He doesn't want to pay the money. But we'll get into that shortly. What's going on, Tanya? How you doing? I am Malcolm X. What's going on? Let me guess, Umar scamming the people again for a lawsuit against Lenon. Well, this is an older lawsuit, but I just thought it was vital to go over since, we just got through covering the topic of the settlement he paid to Marianne Lorient and how, he either initiates lawsuits like he did with Lenon Honor and Marianne, and then he doesn't really follow through on it, or he's, the defendant in the lawsuit with this Archibald case, and then he doesn't want to accept service and tries to duck and dive. So the idea of him going to court, he thinks he's above the rule of law. And, that's not how it works. So, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Please engage in the chat. Put a 1 if you've hit that like button. My brother in Christ, Jay Witt, wants to make sure that I repeat that over and over again because I do forget. We also have a $25 goal from the live stream that goes towards the expenses of the channel. Sometimes we meet the goals, sometimes we don't. But either way, I appreciate all of your support. Hit that like button. Put a 1 if you have hit that like button. Engage in the chat. Everybody speak to everybody. We're going to get to it. We're just going to kick it off while we allow more people to come in. Get the notification out with Oswald Bates. Because it's funny. Let me share the link if I haven't done that. Shout out to Nostalgia's living room. Let's get to it.
Before we vote on your request for parole, we do have some questions. Do you think you'll be able to adjust to life on the outside?
Allow me to practologize myself. Suppositorily speaking, my incarceration has forced, you understand, the ventilation of, shall I say, my dairy air. And upon my discharge, I will ejaculate my mind to the prophylactic of the bowels of society.
But how would you support yourself, Mr. Bates, considering that your reading comprehension has gone down every year since you've been in prison?
Oh my God.
A very vaginative proposition, my man. That is to say, prostitution pertaining to the cotex, you understand, of the argument. I myself have imminentized my liquidation, therefore, ergo, i.e., that is the instigation, which is excessive cleavage, shall we say. So, let me clarify, or, excuse me, clarify. In other words, I'd probably teach.
Yeah, that's about right, because Umar loves making up dumb words that have no meaning at all.
All right, if there are no further questions, let's put this to a vote. All those in favor of parole vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed vote nay.
Nay.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bates. Is there anything further you'd like to say?
Let me be venereal in my requisition for this body of congregation, see, for the personal gratification of my urethra. As the Greek philosopher Massengill once dictated, licketh my probiscus. Undouche me.
Undouche me.
I can find my own damnation in tardy completion.
Oh, undouche me. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. We got to use that one. Undouche me. Hold on, kiss. Look at here, Umar. We don't have time for your undouching, okay? We just want you to know. Oh, undouche me. Something that Umar could use, a good douching. Oh my God. All right, y'all. Yeah. 27 people watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you're hitting that like button as you come in and leave a 1. Let me know you hit that like button and engage in the chat. That's going to help with the algo. I appreciate all of you all for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon. What's going on, Francisca? Tanya, I'm on the floor hollering. What's going on? Black Anonymous? Yep, Oswald Bates. It's just the precursor to what we, had in the future to expect with Umar Johnson. Yeah. Nonsense and words that have just kind of been thrown together. So I'm going to show a video where he does just that. Once again, and I think this was the one where he talked about cancel culture or something nonsense, but I haven't seen it yet. So I really wanted to get this video in. It's not long. And then we'll get over to the cases. And Black Anonymous, if you can send me the link, if you don't mind, with the video from Lenon Honor. I think it was the one you said he Umar tried to turn away the social services, somebody, social worker, I think. Yeah, just can you send me the link to that video? Because that's, we all know that it's a great concern with Umar and the way he's treating his mother, right? It's not healthy psychologically, mentally, emotionally, physical. It's just not healthy to have her cooped up in the house and not allowing her to see her own children that are, I really hope, are putting up a bigger fight now at this point to go and see her. I've been saying, for a while, they probably need to do an emergency petition. And I'm still saying that because, if you haven't produced someone that is bedbound, wheelchair bound, that has health issues, probably affecting their cognitive, abilities, it is concerning because that person could be going through the worst of the worst of the worst of abuse. And who would know? And Umar gets mad when you say words, because, he has no spine, but he doesn't do anything to debunk it with evidence and documentation. Umar, you could show sign of life and just do a video with your mom. Why in the world would you want to keep her a hidden secret? And people are concerned about her well-being and her health. So, you know, he can kiss my ass, but I'm not going to stop bringing it up until he starts to allow his siblings to see their own mother, or he at least, put her in a video. Let them do Zoom calls, Zoom, video conference calls or something, so they can lay eyes on her. That's what everyone is pretty much wanting. We don't want to look at his ass walk through half of a building. No, he didn't even walk half of the building. He stayed in the gym of the school building because he's a coward. And then most of the time he spent having the camera in his face or in the front of his man titties. So he did nothing to really show what was going on inside the school building that showed some level of progress. And he barely goes in the building. And now we see why. The gym looks like a clutter fest. It's so crazy. But yeah, send me the link and I will check it out, because that is something very serious that people need to know. The Informant Media, shout out to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If I could do I have a mod in here that can drop the links for our great content creators here for Black Anonymous, the Informant Media, anyone else that has a YouTube channel, let us know and we will show you some support. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And Living Color was the absolute show to watch, along with Martin at the time, and then of course Mad TV. Just iconic classics. They never get old. Shout out to you all. Shout out to you all. Let me see. I'm still trying to find it. Okay, cool. Once you find it, just email me the link, because if I don't get to it today, we will definitely get to it on Tuesday, because tomorrow is definitely going to be dedicated to Carbonation. I am so proud of Hood Horrors and the fantastic series he's put together. And I just think it's worth noting, how these cults and the cult of personality, take root and rise and grow. And when it's unchecked and uncontrolled, can become a danger to people. So yeah, want to make sure I address that tomorrow. I think we have 3 episodes I wanted to check out, so we can get it done. What's going on, Tavares? How you doing? This is my Saturday nights as a kid in the 90s. Okay, mine too. Living Color, Mad TV, Martin, Living Singles, I think. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Oh man, the perfect lineup. What's going on, visuals? Lady Luck, I'm back. I was heckling Howling near the hell today. Why you heckling it? Why you heckling Albert? I'm interested in the August Archibald angle. Yeah, he did a letter back in 2023, so we're gonna get to that. Hood Horrors, the truth. Yes, he is. Shout out to Hood Horrors. Shout out to Hood Horrors. All right, y'all, let's get to the next video I wanted to check out. I haven't been able to see yet. So yes, Carbonation and Nature Boy will be tomorrow. 3 episodes we're gonna have a watch party for. It's going to be fantastic. So this video is on this King Kong Consciousness channel. Now, can someone tell me if this is Umar's YouTube channel? Let me make sure I pull it down. This is King Kong Consciousness. Is this his YouTube channel? I think one of you told me this is not his channel. Whose channel is this? It's 222,000 subs. You would think with 222,000 subs that you would get more than 8,000 views in 2 weeks, but yeah, okay. But is this his channel? Let me know. Because either way, I tag this channel in my videos because Umar know you're watching. Please understand, you scare no one. You mere mortal. You walking little Debbie snack cake. Let's see here. The really good part is, homie, don't play that. I know, right? Lennon said it wasn't. Okay. So, anyone know who channel this belongs to? I'll drop the link anyway for the video we're about to check out. But what I'm not gonna do is give Umar a shout out if this is his channel, but I will drop the link to the video. And I would love to know who's the channel, the content creator. I could have sworn this was his channel. I always thought the channel was associated with Umar, but some people think Lenon runs it. No, I don't think Lenon run that. Yeah, what Lenon does run is the only viable website for the school that routes to his YouTube channel. He bought the domain. So it's funny. The first time I found out that he actually bought the domain and it goes straight to his YouTube channel. But I highly doubt Lenon. It's so crazy. They connect Lenon with everything. No one really knows who runs it. Nah, Lenon doesn't run that. Oh, okay. Shout out to you. All right, cool. And if he does it, then it's all good. But I do want to see this video. It's like almost 10 minutes long. So let's get to it. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button coming in and hit the 1. Like Lenon said, hit the 1 when you've hit that like button. Let's go.
When one of us hurts, all of us hurts. When one of us hurts, all of us hurts. And while we going through this,
Jesus.
while we going through this, we got reactionaries in the Black community. While we going through this, we got reactionaries in the Black community trying to silence the warriors of the community. And the founder of Black Lives Matter Pittsburgh, I don't know the sister, but the founder of Black Lives Matter Pittsburgh tried to get me canceled from today's convention because I don't support rainbow ganging.
What?
And because I don't support rainbow ganging, she wanted me snatched from today's conference. I'm the foremost certified school psychologist for our people in this country.
Back that up. Where's your certification, Umar? You clown. You know what you're certified to do? Leap from one building to another. You ape shit. Where's the certification for your so-called school psychology? Where's that certification? The last time he had a certification was over 10 years ago. When is this video? How old is this video? Because his hair looks like it was fairly recent. You know, all that man unit up there and everything. Umar, if you're going bald, be bald. Even your beard looks fake. It's a whole unit. I've never seen hair this thick. And it's like, where's the skin? If you know what a real beard looks like, you would automatically look at this and be like, nah. You don't even see down to the skin on this. It's just like it's poofed out of nowhere. He looks like he's a walking mold of clay. Except he oozes chicken. Yeah, I'm on that today. Where's your certification, Umar?
I'm not coming to Pittsburgh to talk about rainbow ganging. I am not here to discuss rainbow ganging. I am here to talk about the state of Black Pennsylvania. I am here to talk about the state of Western Pennsylvania. I am here to talk about our brothers and sisters in Allegheny County, McKeesport, Penn Hills. I am here to talk about Black Pennsylvania. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle in order to breathe. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle in order to talk about Black children. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle.
I just want to remind you all, this is coming from the dumb Black man that said he wanted to cuddle with little boys by the fireside while they're wearing their suits. Whatever that means. This is coming from the man, the ape, that goes to college campuses and records college girls' butts. This is coming from the man whom a court has said he is to be restrained away from his own child. And you don't see him talking about that and putting up a fight to go see his daughter. This is all of that coming from this hypocrite.
In order to fight for my people. But you would dare try to get me canceled because I don't agree with your lifestyle? I don't have to agree with your lifestyle. Muslims don't agree with Christians, but that doesn't mean they wish harm against them. Democrats don't agree with Republicans, but that doesn't mean they wish harm against them. Communists don't agree with capitalists, but that doesn't mean they wish harm against them.
Stop right there. At what point in human history has many people wished harm upon those who claim to be a communist? You understand, at one point in the United States of America, if you were even thought to be a communist, you were doxxed and harassed, you were charged, you were questioned, you were followed, you were spied. What the hell is wrong with him? So he has not read one history book, is what you're telling me? This is why, Umar, reading is fundamental. I don't know any point in history where someone who was even perceived to be a communist was not targeted. What the hell? I got to go back and hear this again.
Harm against them. Communists don't agree with capitalists, but that doesn't mean they wish harm against them. What I find so hypocritical about your community, Miss Black Lives Matter, what I find so hypocritical about your community is y'all preach tolerance. Y'all want everybody to be tolerant towards you. You want everybody to be tolerant about you, but you don't want to tolerate nobody else's opinion. You don't want to tolerate anybody else's perspective. Y'all don't want to tolerate what everybody else feels. Everybody's supposed to tolerate you. Everybody's supposed to sit down and just let you do whatever you want to do, but you don't want to sit down and let other people do what we want to do. Okay. I have never wished harm against your people, but you lied to the community. You lied to the community and said, I wished harm against your people. I have never wished death or destruction against your people, but you lied to the Pittsburgh community. You lied to the Pittsburgh community. You tried to...
Funny thing is, he's the biggest liar thus far in this entire equation. And although the Black Lives Matter, the founder, whomever bought a mansion and misused money, it seems like Umar is more jealous that he did not get that type of capital that Black Lives Matter garnered. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like he's just being jealous. Because he's the biggest con artist that has been scamming people for over 10 years on the aspect of a school he knows he will never open. Umar, you're not in any legal standing or moral standing to call someone a liar. All you do is lie. And then when you're confronted with information or even advice and help, you shut it down because you just want money. Because those accounts you claim were frozen are still somehow still frozen. Now, you can't even say why. Funny how he's sitting here trying to shame anyone in the Black Lives Matter. I'm not even trying to justify what they have done wrong because they're now, a couple of them are actually in prison for it. But Umar, you can be just as liable for the scam you're running as they were and face the same judgment. Because we have laws. Because
make them think that I'm a hater of your community. You tried to make them think that I was harm and destruction against your community. You are dishonest, you are disingenuous, and you are a hypocrite. I thought Black Lives Matter was for all Black people. I thought Black Lives Matter was for all Black people. I get it. Black Lives Matter is only for Black people who support rainbow ganging. Then say that and stand on it. If Black Lives Matter is only for Black people who support rainbow ganging, then say that and stand on it. How dare you try to stop me from coming to Pittsburgh, a place where I've only been a handful of times? How dare you try to get me canceled from today's Black Health Inequity Summit? How dare you, with my credentials, my experience, my background, my expertise, how dare you try to get me canceled from today's convention because I don't agree with your lifestyle? I don't have to agree with you. Barack Obama doesn't dictate my political beliefs. Joe Biden doesn't dictate my political beliefs.
It's safe to say he has none. At least I can say I don't lean one way or the other. I'm for American. But I can admit that. He just hops on the bandwagon. Whomever is going to give him more notoriety, help him get his name out there so he can continue to talk about, hit the PayPal and the Cash App, you know. Yeah, PayPal.me/ who's coming for the prince or something like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hit that one up because it doesn't exist. They hit it up anyway. It's just crazy. So if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Umar's a prime example of that. People aren't questioning him or challenging him about this money issue, and they fall for whatever he says because reasons. The audacity to sit here and to try to even shame someone else when you don't have clean hands yourself, Umar.
Black Lives Matter organization doesn't dictate my political beliefs. I have a right to feel how I feel. I have a right to think how I think. I have a right to be who I am, and nobody going to force me to accept anything that I consider to be a threat. Nobody's going to force me to accept anything that I consider to be a threat to the survival of the traditional Black family. Let me be very clear.
Exactly.
I am a traditional Black family advocate. You are a non-traditional.
Stop. The lies you tell, you Prince of Pancrust pizza. How are you a traditional Black family advocate when you don't even spend time with your own kids? I'm sorry. When did you get married again? How many baby mothers do you actually have? Are we at number 4? Because I heard we're at number 4. And one of them you're just not even claiming. How is that the traditional Black family? You're not going to get what you want handed to you on a silver platter. First of all, no one should be considering marrying this clown, because if you do, you're going to be taking care of him like he's a child. And he doesn't even take care of his own mother. And I get to say that right now because we don't even know what's going on with her. But to him, the idea of him thinking he's some sort of a family man, and he doesn't even want to be bothered with his own children, and a court had to restrain him through an order away from one of the 4 that he has, is unbelievably hypocritical. And he's lying through his teeth. Traditional Black family advocate. Are you kidding me? This is coming from the man that said he wants to cuddle with boys by the fireside. Yeah, this is my first time watching this. I think you Anonymous said that this was old, but this was it was posted up 2 weeks ago. I don't know how old this is, but this is something else. That's why I said there's so many videos I have yet to discover, because he doesn't know how to stay off social media. But you know, Umar, just keep on talking. We don't want you to go anywhere. Yes, I'm going to keep making content on you and calling your ass out every time you do a video. Yep, absolutely.
Let me be very clear. I am a traditional Black family advocate.
Yeah,
you are a non-traditional Black family advocate, and that's all right. I'm a traditional Black family advocate, man, woman, child. You are a non-traditional Black family advocate, and that's all right. We can agree to disagree, but I will never try to get you banned. I will never try to get you censored. I will not go behind your back and spread lies against you just because I don't agree with you like you did me. Miss Black Lives Matter, Pittsburgh.
Information Man Show, shout out to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good to see you guys. Of course, I'm going to make sure that you guys are hitting that like button. Everybody speak to everybody, engage in the chat. And yes, my mind is just as blown away as you all are. Even if you've seen this before, it's just astounding to hear the hypocrisy and the lies and the buffoonery coming out of his mouth with ease. This man is a pathological liar. It's so crazy. I don't even think he cares whether or not he's lying at this point. As long as some fool out there is willing to believe it and still give him money, he's going to keep doing this. Now, I wish he would try to lie like this in a court of law in front of a judge, though. Umar, why do you become a coward when it comes to matters of law? When you're summoned to go to court, why all of a sudden do you become a coward? He would never say this in front of a judge. Never. This is some crazy shit right here. Shout out to Information Man Show. Thank you so much. If I have any mod that can drop the link to his channel in the chat, as well as Block Anonymous. Let's see. I want to make sure I cover all of the supporters, the content creators up in here. We do not want to overlook you, the informant media. Let's see. I just want to make sure I got y'all in here. I know it's Sunday afternoon. People are, getting ready for work this week and getting the kids ready for school. So I appreciate you all tuning in. Hit that like button and hit a 1 once you've hit that like button. Jay Witt wants me to stay on top of that, and I'm going to do it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. All right, let's get back to this blubbering whale.
Berg, you were wrong, sister. You were dead wrong for condemning my name, trying to shame me, trying to repudiate and reject me. I do not have to agree with your lifestyle. The United States of America gives you a right to rainbow gang. And so I must tolerate your right to rainbow gang. But I do.
Let me tell you something. And yes, I have to pause this because lies like that are very dangerous. We have anti-discrimination laws for a reason. What law gives him the right to do anything with gangs? What law? This is coming from the clown that dodges a summons to go to court, that dodges service. This is coming from the same clown that refused to go to the court to find out what was going on with the writ of monition. This is the clown that's sitting here talking about the United States Constitution. He didn't name not one amendment. Gives him the right to do something involving gangs. Unfucking believable. What law? What law? Which constitutional right or amendment or law gives you the right to do that, Umar? We'll wait. Drop the law. I want the statute code. Give me the U.S. statute code. I want the amendment. I want law. I want evidence.
Not have to agree with it. Traditional Black family advocate right here. Where are my traditional Black family advocates at? Where are all my traditional Black family advocates at? If you are a traditional Black family advocate, you have to stand on your square and not let these European financed Negroes in our community. No European financed Negro is going to come and try to silence King Kong consciousness. I'm the main one helping our parents save our children, not you. Not you. I got receipts.
How has he done that? Oh, he got receipts. Oh, shit. I just paused this too early. Let me go back a little bit. Hey, let's see these receipts he got, because reasons. A term he can't define, but he's got it. Who my spell receipts?
Not you. I got receipts to prove my worth and my work. I got receipts to prove my worth and my work. I didn't come here for no drama, but I'll be damned if I'm going to be bullied by any European financed Negro. You must be out of your mind. Who do you?
First of all, where are the receipts? You said you got receipts. Let's start with the school website because that's a receipt. Where is the school website? What is the link to the school website, Umar? Receipt number 1. Receipt number 2. Who are the vendors that are allegedly doing work on these school buildings to renovate them? Name the vendors. I'm still waiting on James to email me this stuff. Trust me, I'm not holding my breath because I already know that his supporters just either reading it goes beyond their head, so they're just delusional and they don't have any receipts and they know it. So they just talk shit until they come across the right person. But where are the receipts, Umar? Where are the receipts? I want the receipts. Post up the link to the school website. How did you spend the money again? Because you have no expenses listed on those tax forms. Why are you listed as executive director? I thought you was the big boss in charge. You're no different than a director within a department within a company. How much you make a year, Umar? What's your job? He wants receipts. We want a receipt of who exactly paid those fees from the writ of monition. We see what's in the court docket. Well, where's the receipt that the individual who signed the check or gave them the money order or whatever method they used to pay, all of that money you owed? Where's that receipt? We'll wait.
You think I am? You can't control me with slander. You can't control me with repudiation. You can't control me with denigrating my name. I want everybody to know Black Lives Matter Pittsburgh control me with denigrating my name. I want everybody to know Black Lives Matter Pittsburgh chapter president tried to get me canceled. I don't even discuss rainbow affairs unless I'm asked about it.
Yeah, I highly doubt this is the only reason why he believes or what happened with him being allegedly canceled. Clearly, you're not canceled because you're doing a video and you're still collecting money on a school that will never open. So if that's not a sign that you're not canceled, I don't know what is. Y'all see how he speaks in circles and says nothing at all?
Rainbow Nation is not my priority.
Oh, God.
The Rainbow Nation is not my priority. I'm repping for the 2 billion Africans of the planet Earth. I'm repping for the 2 billion Africans of the planet Earth. I'm repping.
We, the humans of planet Earth, would love for you to return to your home planet in the Ewok. You don't need to represent us doing anything. I think the entire continent of Africa would love for you to leave their name out of your mouth. You're not representing anyone. Because unlike you, most of us have a job and we take care of our children. This is unbelievable. He said he's representing 2 billion Africans on planet Earth. Of the planet Earth. Y'all see this? Of the planet Earth.
I'm repping for the 2 billion Africans of the planet Earth. I'm repping for the 2 billion Africans of the planet Earth.
Of the planet Earth.
And guess what?
Like a true alien.
I don't support violence against nobody. And I ain't got a problem saying that.
Do I need to play the videos where you're sicking your hardcore cult-like base on people to have them cyber harassed, doxxed, and for some of them to roll up on your ops? You want to talk about seeking out violence? Why are you doxing people? Because they disagree with you and they're calling you out on your bullshit. Why are you issuing out slap suits against Marianne Lorian? $500,000? Why are you sitting here doxing Lenon and his wife and kids? Why are you giving out people's address and then telling dumb idiots who could be co-conspirators easily in an investigation to go after someone and giving the address? You don't condone violence, Umar. You void. You are a walking void. You know what? He's an alien. He does not belong on our planet, and I wish his home planet would come and reclaim him real quick.
I don't support violence against nobody. That's right. That's right.
He is on something.
I don't support murder unless it's for murder and sex abuse and child abuse. That's right. You have a right to live. You have a right to work. You have a right to a decent life. Nobody's stopping that.
Lord.
But marriage for me is between a man and a woman. You want to call me names because I believe marriage is between a man and a woman? You want to call me names and repudiate me and slander me because I believe marriage is between a man and a woman? Then you go ahead and do that. Then you go ahead and do that.
He's a fool.
Understand, overstand, and understand. Understand, overstand, and understand.
He sounds like one of those sovereign citizens that claims to be Moroccan, even though they are in the wrong country, and the country of Morocco would never claim them either. And understand, overstand, understand. That's what soft sit say in court when they're asked by the judge, do you understand what it means to represent yourself as pro se? No, I don't understand. I overstand it. Oh, okay, whatever. This is ridiculous. Shout out to all of you all tuning in. Thank you so much. Umar. Yes, Moorish. Thank you, Redemption. That's what he sounds like. Umar. Black Anonymous said Umar doxed his child's mother and grandmother. He won't stop doxing people. He doxed the Lene Stacks. Unbelievable. Thank you, Norma Richmond. Which means when you guys come in, make sure you are hitting that like button and engaging in the chat. Everybody speak to everybody. Thank you so much for your support and for tuning in. This man is still doxing people. He doxed his child's mother and grandmother. You can't make this shit up. They need to start suing him and report him to the FBI so they can have some indictment charges drop on his ass. This is getting out of control with the doxing. Whom are you doing that and for what? For what? No one needs to know where your mother lived. We just want to see that she's alive and healthy and happy, somewhat. We just want to know if she's alive. Let's start with that. We don't need to know exactly where she lived. We want you to put her on video. And we want you to stop restricting her whole life and allow her to be a grown adult who has the right to see her children and grandchildren. You want to be a deadbeat? You do that on your own. Why are you forcing your mother to be alienated from her other children? And you got the audacity to dox your child's mother and grandmother? You piece of shit.
Understand, overstand, and understand.
And through a stand and do a stand and dump a stand.
Tried to cancel anybody from the Rainbow Nation. But people from the Rainbow Nation stay with my name in your mouth. I have no control over how you live your life, nor am I worried about it. I have no control over how you live your life, nor am I worried about it. But for you to be so selfish.
Yeah, you know, because she's racking, Black Lives Matter was racking in that money, about the tens of millions of dollars. You know, how else is she being selfish, Umar, if it's not about the finances? This blubbering idiot is sitting here calling someone selfish, and he's the one walking around with animal intestines in a Ziploc bag. You can't make
to be so selfish to try to get me canceled from an event that needs my information, needs my expertise,
no, they don't.
Needs my advocacy, needs my activism. That is selfish. You're basically saying Black people should not benefit from Dr. Umar because he doesn't support this lifestyle. That is selfish.
No, you do nothing for Black people in general but take their money. And above all, if you have wealthy donors and sponsors that are willing to give money over to help this school come to fruition, why are you turning it down and then expecting struggling Black families, most of them single parents, to fund your entire lifestyle and the school? You're putting a strain on the people, the very few people that are still giving you money. You're asking people for money for yourself personally at this point, lying about accounts being frozen. And you're mad that BLM figured it out? This is absolutely asinine.
Selfish. That's like a Muslim saying the Christians shouldn't come help the Black community because they Christian. I don't try to stop y'all from doing what y'all do. If you think you helping out people, then do you.
What's going on, Miss Max?
Then do you. I've never went anywhere and tried to get a rainbow ganger canceled. For what? For what? I ain't never tried to get y'all canceled for nothing. I simply disagree with the lifestyle, but you want to stop me from coming to Pittsburgh. This is King Kong Consciousness coming to you.
Yeah, coming to everybody from planet Mars. What an idiot. Umar, you realize no one cares about how you feel. Umar can't answer basic questions. Okay, so this is the video that Black Anonymous sent. And I want to go through this. You said this is the one where he turned away. Hold on. Is this the one where he turned away the social worker? Let's check this out because I know more than likely I haven't seen it. All right, let's get to it. Shout out to Black Anonymous, by the way. Thank you for sending me the link to this video.
Your family.
Welcome back to the family.
Gospel 1440 AM, WMKM.
Umar Johnson, better known as Dr. Umar Johnson. I just wanted to remind everyone what Stand Up Now is all about. Stand Up Now is an organization about integrity, informing, educating. Stand up now. Think about that. Stand up now for what is right. Stand up now for truth. Stand up now. And we all must stand up now. I do believe that we do have Umar Johnson on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
All is well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you and LaDonna. So make sure to tell LaDonna, and I hope she's listening, that we thank you. Dr. Umar, tell us a little bit about who it is that you are, for those of us who don't know.
Certainly. I'm Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm a certified school psychologist and certified school principal. I'm in private practice here in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I evaluate children for special education disability determination. I work with charter schools, public schools, superintendents, principals, special ed attorney advocate groups. I'm founder of my very own advocate group, the National Independent Black Parent Association. I am a blood relative of the great Frederick Douglass. I'm former of Marcus Garvey's movement, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, and I am also
See, he already lied about. Okay, so this is definitely older because he was lying about being related to Frederick Douglass. Okay, so Anonymous said, no, this is when he was being interviewed by a woman in Detroit. Oh, okay. I hear him lying about the Frederick Douglass thing, so it must be older one. I haven't even seen this. Hey, Raven said he's not a certified psychologist, but offering his service to Nikki for clout. That's what's so crazy, and it's dangerous too. Because if he's not certified at this point, you're trying to diagnose someone, that's almost like providing some level of treatment, and he's not certified or licensed to do that. He's the leading head grifter. Exactly, them folks. By Baba David. It's BS. Like, oh my God. So I don't know who the radio host is, but does she still support Umar at this point? You let me know in the chat. Let me know.
Of the book, Psychoacademic
Cynthia
Holocaust,
Johnson.
Special Education, and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys, which is the only book ever written by a Black school psychologist specifically to Black parents with detailed strategies on how they can effectively advocate for their children in public and charter schools.
Wow, that's a mouthful. And I'll tell you that I've been listening to you for a very long time. And I want to say that you are smart. What is it on what's that movie? You is smart, you is intelligent, and you are loved here. But before we go on with the show, Dr. Umar, I don't know how much research you've done on me, but everyone that I have on my show, I try my very best to do as much research on them as I can. And speaking of you, and you're an incredible
Umar, not
person.
African
We
at
have
all.
incredible people throughout our country. Black folks are just some of the most smart, if not the smartest people I know. But when I did my research, Dr. Umar, I did not find any college that you attended. What college did you attend to get your doctorate degree, and what year?
Sure, I'll answer that question. But let me first say this. There is no law that requires anyone's degree to be published online. So you may not see my information online, but you may not see the information for a lot of scholars online. I earned my undergraduate degree.
If you consider yourself to be a public figure, yes, you do. No one told you to go out into the spotlight and to show your narcissism to the world. You chose to do that. So now, if you're considering yourself a public leader of some sort or public figure, you need to tell people where you went to school, especially if you're talking about I'm a certified school psychologist. That's standard. You're out here trying to purport yourself to be certified in psychology with children, and you don't want to show your degree. So now you're ashamed of it, Umar. Why are you mad that we got your dissertation then? You see how hypocritical this is already?
Psychology and political science from the Millersville University.
I get mad about the dissertation.
What's the name of it?
Millersville University of Pennsylvania. I earned my school psychology degree also from Millersville University. And I earned my master's degree from Lehigh University in educational leadership. And I earned my sixth degree, my fifth and sixth, a master's and doctorate in clinical psychology from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. 6 degrees in all. Not that that should matter because it is my work that counts, not my education, but that
it does matter.
All right. And under the
I'm glad he said all of that because if I can get dissertations on every single last one of these schools, then I will. Absolutely. I mean, when we look you up, you should have 6 degrees with the colleges next to it and have proof that you attended the school and completed the degrees program. Because so far, your dissertation for that doctorate degree at PCOM was a damn shame. It was an insult to read that. Felt like I lost brain cells.
Name of
Ridiculous.
Umar Johnson. For those of us who want to check, let me just say this. I've been dealing with some things over the weekend, and I don't want, and there's been a lot of questions presented to me. So of course, when we have someone as distinguished as you, I know that you want our people to be involved, and not only involved, but to do their research. Would you agree?
I don't have a problem with that. My proof is in my pudding. It's not my degrees that make Dr. Umar Johnson. It's the work that I've done servicing our parents and children for the past 20 years.
And we appreciate that, Dr. Johnson, but still, we want to encourage our people, even when it comes to voting, to do their part, and that is to research those who are coming before us and talking with us. Do you agree with that?
I would agree partially. I would say the best way to learn somebody is to interact with them. And to that end, I will be in Detroit on Wednesday, December the 30th. Speaking at the Shrine of the Black Madonna.
It's not answering the
questions.
questions.
All your parents in Detroit to come out, learn who Dr. Umar Johnson is, but more importantly, get Dr.
Hold on.
Do you agree with that?
I would agree partially. I would say the best way to learn somebody is
people to be involved, and not only involved, but to do their research. Would you agree?
I don't have a problem with that. My proof is in my pudding. It's not my degrees that make Dr. Umar Johnson. It's the work that I've done, sir.
So why do you brag about the degrees? Why tell people you have 6 degrees if it's not the degrees that make you be the whatever you think you are in your alternate reality? Why even bring up the degrees? And I'm highlighting a comment here because Sean Bright said you don't need school to be educated. That can be true, but he's the one that's bragging about having 6 degrees. If he was not the one out here saying this, no one would even be taking it seriously. But if you talk about when it comes to certain professions, when you're talking about being a child psychologist and you've obtained a doctorate degree, yes, you need to show proof that you are educated and trained and certified to be a child psychologist. So just keep that in mind. No, you don't need. You have a lot of smart, intelligent people that didn't even go to college. But because of what he claims he does for a living, you do need a degree for those certain fields. And then he's talking about he has 6 degrees. So naturally, he probably went to college and maybe to grad school to get the doctorate degree. But so far, that would be 3 reasonable degrees. Where are the other 3 coming from? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a separate major, minor. It's not a separate degree. If you majored in psychology and minored in human health, you're not going to have a degree for psychology and then a separate degree for human health. Both your major and minor will be listed on that 1 degree. And this idiot is breaking down every major and minor he's had, or if he's done a dual major, and he's purporting it to be 2 separate degrees. And that's not how it works. And he went to college, so he knows that. Why in the hell is he saying he got 6 degrees? He went to Pecan. Yeah, it's the biggest con ever. Word salad. Yep. All right, y'all, make sure y'all hitting that like button. 127 people watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Put a 1 in the chat if you hit that like button and engage in the chat. Thank you so much.
And our parents and children for the past 20 years.
And we appreciate that, Dr. Johnson, but still, we want to encourage our people, even when it comes to voting, to do their part, and that is to research those who are coming before us and talking with us. Do you agree with that?
I would agree partially. I would say the best way to learn somebody is to interact with them. And to that end, I will be in Detroit on Wednesday, December the 30th, speaking at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. And I encourage all your parents in Detroit to come out, learn who Dr. Umar Johnson is, but more importantly, get Dr. Umar Johnson's information. There's a lot of people in our community who don't have my credentials, who receive far less criticism than I do. But yet and still, I would encourage them to come out, get the information. I'm one of the few black male school psychologists in this country, and one of the even fewer black males who are going to teach them how to fight this system so they can protect their children from special education, unnecessary placement, juvenile placement, ADHD, psychiatric medication, expulsion. I can teach them how to read their child's psychological evaluations. I can teach them how to get their child an approved private school placement at district expense if they find that the school is not properly educating their children. So I come with
You know what's so sad? All of these things can be obtained by a Google search or talking to the actual resource, counselor in the school. This is stuff that how to read, the profile, the test results. Those things can actually be researched online. So there's nothing that he does that's so special to where he doesn't want to disclose where he went to school. He doesn't want people to do their research, but he wants people to come and talk to him. For what? Part of getting to know who he is doing research. It's fact checking the things that he says, especially when his field requires specific education, certifications, licensures, and degrees. Hell, you can talk to this idiot all day. Who knew he would walk around with animal intestines in his Ziploc bag and lie to everyone that he can lie to that will believe him? He put up a front for over 10 years, and he's a walking pyramid scheme. Where's the school website again, Umar?
A repertoire of experience and history working with people who don't question who I am and what my degrees are. I will also be in Flint, Michigan.
The
on Martin Luther King
audacity.
Day, Monday, January 18th. The big brothers and big sisters of Greater Flint invited me there to keynote their annual Martin Luther King Jr. mentorship breakfast. So I will be in Flint for the first time, January 18th. But of course, next Wednesday in Detroit, my first visit to Detroit since March or April. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I get tremendous support from the African community in Detroit. Last event was a sellout, so we're asking people to get there early to make sure they get a seat because seating.
Shine bright. There is nothing to support. He's not our modern day Malcolm. Malcolm at least got things actually accomplished. There's nothing Umar has done to say he's accomplished something. The one thing he said he would accomplish with opening up a school, he has not done that. And I challenge Umar supporters. Listen, you come in the chat and engage, stay respectful. That's fine. We won't block you. But where is the school website? Same thing I asked the other one that came in the other day. Where's the school website? Why is he not listing expenses on the tax returns? How is this money being spent on vendors and contractors? Who are those vendors and contractors? Why won't he go through the entire school building or open it up to all his supporters and let people go in and film? Where's the school website? I always start with that. I never get that. I'm not here to get someone to not support. If people are going to support who they want to support, but you got to ask yourself, what exactly are you supporting at this point when you can't even get a school website? He's not a Malcolm X. I just have to disagree with that one. That's a hell no. and Malcolm X was Muslim, so I don't even follow the same religion, but I still respect the person who actually did accomplish something and gave something to humanity. Umar has not done that, and he continues to, bring in money off the backs of people who are living check to check, because he won't go to rich people and get them to give him money. Because why can't he get Charlemagne and Mark Lamont to give him money? I'm just saying, they want to see him kiss his ass, give him some money. They won't even do it. And these are two other black people that sit here and defend him for no reason. So, Black Malcolm X.
It is about 400 feet, and we're almost there.
Tell us where the Shrine of the Black Madonna is. You're breaking up, Doctor.
7625 Linwood Street. 7625 Linwood Street. It's the Shrine of the Black Madonna. Shrine number one. This is actually the original shrine from where the philosophy and ideology of Black Christian nationalism was created. And of course, I will be at the shrine in Atlanta 2 days prior on Monday, and the Shrine of the Black Madonna in Houston 4 days prior this coming Saturday, December the 26th. So.
And in January, you will be at Big Brothers, Big Sisters in Flint, Michigan. What is the address there? And then give us the date again, please.
Okay. I don't know the address, but if anyone needs the contact information, they can email me for the contact information so they can contact Big Brothers and Big Sisters if they're interested in getting a ticket. And my email address is drumarjohnson@yahoo.com. DRUMAR Johnson @yahoo.com. They can also email me through the website, drumarjohnson.com. So we have Wednesday, December 30th, Detroit, Shrine of the Black Madonna, 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then we have Monday, January the 18th, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Flint, Michigan. And that will be a breakfast lunch program, so probably a 10 to 2. But in the evening in Flint, after the breakfast keynote, I will be doing a full free seminar for the entire Black community in Flint, Michigan on the psychoacademic war against Black boys and what they can do to fight back.
You know what, Dr. Umar, you don't skip a beat. All the questions I was asking you, you did not skip a beat, not one time. I admire you. But then I'm going to go right back to my question.
Sure.
And when you said, in part, it matters if we verify and research. What did you mean by that?
I meant that anyone can make themselves look like something they're not online. When we talk about research, we're largely talking about internet searching.
Like he does.
And so in doing that, again, anyone can present themselves as something they're not. How often have we read about people online and then met them?
Yeah, that's exactly what you do, Umar. You present yourself to social media, and then when you're not on social media, you're a completely different person. And people who have actually spent time with you on and off the camera have attested to that. Shout out to Lene Stacks. So your mother calling you, evil or the devil, I mean, that didn't go over our heads. That's your own mother calling you that. You have relatives that have come out and spoke out against you. You have children you do not spend time with or take care of. And you still don't want to help. And you sit here and talk about someone being someone they're not. This is, the hypocrisy of it all. This is what scammers and con artists do. All they do is put on a visage, and it's like they have multiple personality disorder. Their own narcissism is trapped inside of their mind to where it flourishes a whole nother persona. And that persona has this grandiosity as if there's someone important when he's not. Umar, you are not above the rule of law. When the IRS come for you, they will come for you just like they came for Al Capone. You're no different.
And they were not half of what they lived up to. So I can clearly put forth a false notion of who Dr. Umar Johnson is beyond the degree, because I know people who don't have the degree who have more expertise than people with them. So to me, that really doesn't mean much because I'm in that sphere and in that social professional setting. So for me, the best way to learn somebody is to learn them face to face, ask them the questions, get in their person. As human beings, and you know this, being a student of spirit yourself, we're very vibrational individuals. So you can learn more from the vibration of a person than you.
Shine Bright, where's the website link to the school? What's the website link to the school? I'm not even trying to tell you what to say. I just want you to include that in your response. Can you drop the link to the school website? That's all.
You have a clip from their bio or credentials.
I wish that was totally true, because I have had people look me directly in the face and lie at the same time.
Exactly.
Both ways.
Both ways. So I always encourage people to research. And by the way, the research that I do is not just online, but I encourage people to pick up the phone, use the good old pen and paper, make phone call, and get certified records if necessary. And that can be found. I went to I went to the state of Pennsylvania to look up yours. And I'm not trying to challenge you, doctor. Really, I'm not. I just want our people to not only listen to and hear from a man who is
Umar is the greatest self-snitcher ever. He tells on himself because in order for him to cover up one lie, he has to come up with another lie. And oftentimes he's doing it on the spot. That's why he avoids answering questions, because he knows if he just repeats the same old dumb shit over and over again, that he gets to skirt around that. And her approach to this, which I'm kind of starting to understand, is like she's giving some level of, praise or something like that. Then she gives, a challenging question or some rebuttal or critique, because she knows that he's a freaking man baby child and he'll throw a tantrum if he doesn't get his ass kissed like he wants. So, I just hate that, once you ask a few basic questions and you see that person is not able to answer it, I wouldn't continue to give him a platform. That interview would have been like 10 minutes for me, if that.
Speaking truth to our people, but I also want them to be cognitive and smart enough to do your own research. So anyway, when I went to the state of Pennsylvania where you practiced, the state of Pennsylvania, there was nothing under the name Umar Johnson. So what name is your degree under? Your certified psychologist degree. Hello?
Yes.
Dr. Umar?
Oh, now he having phone issues.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I was asking you.
No, I heard the question. Let me answer you. When you earn a doctorate degree in psychology, the state Bureau of Psychology, the State Board of Psychology, does not keep a listing of everyone with a doctorate. They don't keep a listing at all of anyone with a doctorate. The State Board of Psychology keeps a list of individuals who have earned their license in psychology.
Do you have a license?
I have my doctorate. Yes, ma'am. They're licensed and they're licensed only. I have my doctorate in clinical psychology. I am certified as a school psychologist. Your certification does not come from the state board. Your certification comes from the State Department of Education. The only person.
But he said he has a license, and he clearly has expressed he understands the difference because of where he's saying they come from. So the licensing board will give you your license, Umar. Where's your damn license? We've seen 2 certifications, but you haven't renewed the last one in over 10 years. We all understand the differences between a license, a certification, and a degree. You, on the other hand, conveniently melt all these things together when you're trying to avoid telling the truth about the fact that you don't have a license. Why did he just say, yes, he has a license? That was a lie.
I have my doctorate in clinical psychology. I am certified as a school psychologist. Your certification does not come from the state board. Your certification comes from the State Department of Education. The only person we have an doctorate is the school I graduated, because the State Board of Psychology does not keep those records, nor are they interested in those records. They keep a record purely of those who are licensed. I do not hold a license. And the reason I do not hold a license is because my expertise is in school psychology, in which I am certified. That's where I spend 95% of my time. I do conduct clinical evaluation. And since I'm not licensed, if I conduct a clinical evaluation, that means I have to get a licensed psychologist to sign off on my evaluation for clinical work.
So why didn't he do that? Because isn't that why he got in trouble and had to leave the school? Because he tried to diagnose someone's child? Isn't that what happened? Correct me if I'm wrong here. Isn't the reason why he was fired from the school or told to leave was because he tried to diagnose someone and did not get a licensed clinician to sign off on it? Black Anonymous said, remember, Umar has told parents to take their children off medication, and he's not qualified to do that. Exactly. Because then you would need at least be a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner, to which you would still be under the supervision of a licensed medical physician. So essentially, you would have to be a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, because there's a difference. He didn't pass the EPP. Yep. Okay. So that is why he was escorted by 2 hefty officers, because he tried to diagnose someone's child without a license to do that, and it wasn't signed off by a licensed clinician. So why did you do it anyway, Umar? You Oompa Loompa. I'm so glad he's self-snitching right here.
But psychoeducational work, I don't.
They should have sued him for that,
because I am certified. The problem is when people are not in a particular field, they don't understand the regulations of the field. They don't understand the different areas of the field, and they'll go looking for something that they know nothing about and end up drawing false conclusions about the person they're researching.
And see, that's just the point. People have a right to look up who is going inside of their minds. People have a right to know what type of doctor, be it medical or psychological, they have a right to know who those people are. And so going back to the question, for your certified
It's what truthfully user logic. I think that's exactly what it wasn't. That the reason why he was fired. He was misdiagnosing someone's child. He was actually the idea of him diagnosing a child in general without a licensure is illegal. So the fact that he's trying to sit here and make it seem like he can diagnose, knowing he could not do that, it goes to show he was at least informed that he could not do that because he wasn't licensed, and he did it anyway. Because he wants to make himself feel more important than he really is. He hasn't got a PhD. It's a psych D. There's a different. Yeah, he has a degree in psychology. That's it. But he's not a psychiatrist. He doesn't have a license. And that certification was not renewed. And it has not been over 10 years. Black Anonymous said, I have heard that at Lady Luck Club, but I think he was fired from the school because he lied about having a doctorate on his resume. I mean, if he's walking around talking about he's got 6 degrees, we all know that's a lie. They should have reported him to the state. Exactly. What's going on, Andrea? How you doing? Shout out to all of you all tuning in. 133 people watching. Please hit that like button and drop a 1 in the chat. If you have hit that like button, hit the like button. I'm going to keep shaking up the bushes. We also have a $25 goal for the live stream that goes towards the expenses of the channel. So any and all donations are welcome. Sometimes we meet the goal. Sometimes we don't. But we bless God for the support either way. I just want to make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Thank you so much. What's going on, Cardale? I wish his sister had run for mayor. Oh man. He didn't have a doctorate prior to 2012. Exactly. That's the year he allegedly graduated from PCOM. Let's see. I believe that in giving one size fits all advice for black kids. Exactly. He sits here and tells people to take their kids off of medications when he's not a licensed physician. The audacity. They should have sued his ass. He should not be able to raise money without having to pay out a settlement.
Right. Psychology degree. What name can we find it under?
Psychology degree. You get a degree from an institution.
Okay.
As I said again, my certification comes from the State Department of Education, as I said a moment ago.
Dr. Umar, why is it so hard for you just to answer the question?
Because I answered your question, and I think it's a ridiculous waste of time that we're worrying about where I got
no,
my
it's not.
from instead of educating your parents on the law.
We want to educate our people. That is very true, Dr. Umar.
We did a whole show on my degree.
Well, but you have it didn't have to take that, Dr. Umar.
For 20 years, ma'am.
Dr. Umar.
It doesn't matter, Umar, you stupid Oompa Loompa. You have a field you claim you're working in that requires a degree, a certification, and a license if you're going to diagnose. So yes, asking you about your 6 degrees is part of it, even though we all know you don't have 6 degrees. Umar, don't make me have to get the dissertations for the other degrees that you have. You really don't want me to have to do that, because I had no problem doing that when it came to the dissertation for your doctorate degree from PCOM. It gave me great pleasure and joy to do it, because people need to know that you're an absolute fraud. Your dissertation was pathetic. It was like reading a Dr. Seuss book.
Listen,
except 88 pages long.
You and I don't mean to bring age up, but you're old enough to be my son. Okay? And you are a smart, intelligent man. But do you know how many other people out here are just as smart and as intelligent? We deal with people all the time who give us a lot of this and that, and we as people don't check things out. I don't understand.
I understand. I think the best way to investigate Dr. Umar Johnson, I think this is the best way. After you found out I had my degree, since that matters so much to some people. But the best way to investigate me is to put out a calling to any parents that have worked with Dr. Has Dr. Umar ever helped you with your
I'm sure you have, Dr. Umar, without a doubt. Again, I'm going to go back to the question.
Exactly.
Your work is fantastic. You still have not answered the question.
No, he's done no work. He just runs his mouth. That's all Umar is good for. Podcasting. Umar, you are a struggle streamer. You know, you dog out the things that really reflect who you are. You hate black women because you are one. I just had to say it. Oh, Umar, you're a whole bitch. You sit here, you dog out black women because you hate them. You sit here and talk about being a struggle streamer because you are one. No one else is sitting here just streaming in their car while they still cannot prove where they actually live. If I'm doing a car ride along live stream, it's because I want to. but I also have a home where I have to pay rent. Where do you take up residence? He's sitting here dodging simple questions that, yes, is available to the public because of the line of work you're in. Running your mouth is not doing work. And if you're being fired for misdiagnosing children because you weren't licensed, you're certainly not doing anything. And we all know that school will never open. Where's the website again?
Dr. Umar?
What is your question?
My question is, on your certified psychologist degree, what name is there?
Certified degree. I just told you.
Oh, you don't have a certified degree.
Philipsville
What's up, Fly Mama?
Lehigh University, and the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. I am certified through the Department of Education.
And when I call those places, what name can I give them so that they can pull your name up?
I just told, you know what?
Is it Umar Johnson?
What? Obviously, that's who you're interviewing.
Okay. That's all I was asking.
Talking to Dr. Umar Johnson.
Oh, Lord.
My goodness.
You know.
Don't you think she said twice, I tried to look you up, nothing came up. So if you've had a name change, Umar, you alien from outer space. God, I wish your home planet would come and reclaim you. Wouldn't you tell her, hey, you know what? I've had a name change in my lifetime. So you might want to refer to the other name that I was given at birth. Because Umar Johnson is not on your birth certificate. He's a clown.
I wish that we could.
Problem, not my degree. I didn't know this was going to be an interrogation.
Hey, Andrea.
I'm not trying to interrogate you. I am trying to
Thank
educate.
You. All your questions now. You can go and do your research.
Okay.
I'm giving you everything.
Shout out to you, Andrea, for the $4.99 super. Thank you so much. That goes towards the $25 goal for the live stream. You guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, and thank you so much for engaging in the chat. Show Mama that you love her by hitting that like. Hit her the like.
You need now. You can go hunt. You got Miller's.
Why do you say it like that? Why do you say that like that? Do
Because
you know that
Umar's
there are
an idiot.
thousands of people who are listening to us?
I'll tell you why, and I'm glad they're listening because I want them to understand that it bothers me as the foremost advocate and educator and expert in the area of mental health for our children in this country as it relates to the public school system, fighting as much as I fight, for as long as I fought, for as free as I fought, to have to get questions from my own people about who I am when I am not new to this. I've been doing this for 20 years. I have been an expert witness in major lawsuits against school districts. I have worked with lawyers from California to New York City. I have saved thousands of children. I have worked with prisons across the country, school districts.
Working with attorneys and having them represent you are two totally different things, Umar. If they were your attorneys helping you get out of legal trouble, then you're not working with them for the benefit of the community. You're only working with them because you hired them to represent you in something. Because otherwise, I would love to know these attorneys that you allegedly work with to do anything in any community and show a receipt. He's getting mad because he doesn't want people to verify his education, even though that was done either way. What a clown he is.
And I've saved countless Black children, and yet and still, I got to come on the radio and talk about my degrees as opposed to what we can do to help our people. We could have been talking about the National Independent Black Parent Association, which we want to get organized in Detroit and Michigan so we can help our parents fight against racism. We're going to have a special ed committee, a school finance committee, a school discipline committee, a homeschool committee, a parent advocacy committee, and a finance committee so we can educate, investigate, and advocate for our parents. Every Tuesday morning, I host a free Black Parent teleconference. Every Tuesday. We just had it this morning, where any parent in America can call Dr. Umar Johnson, any Black parent, because that's my focus. They can call Dr. Umar Johnson, ask any question they have, and get free answers. I do this morning for free, and I've been doing it for quite some time.
Give us the
That's my focus. They can call Dr. Umar Johnson, ask any question they have, and get.
Pause. So this radio host, Cynthia A. Johnson, is asking you any and every question, and you're not answering it. How does this show that you're willing to talk to someone over the phone? If they ask the same questions, because you just said they can ask you any and every question. Because this is what people want to know. Are you qualified and educated to do what you're doing?
We just had it this morning, where any parent in America can call Dr. Umar Johnson, any Black parent, because that's my focus. They can call Dr. Umar Johnson, ask any question they have, and get free answers. I do that every Tuesday.
Ask any question they ask and get free answers. From the hypocrite who's getting mad about a degree that he touts. He's the one saying I got 6 of them. You know, I got 5 on it.
Tuesday morning for free, and I've been doing it for quite some time now.
Give us the information on that so that parents can call every Tuesday.
Yes, ma'am. It's every Tuesday from 6 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we do stay on the line until every question has been answered by every parent. The only time answered for every parent. The only time I hang up the call before we get to all answers and questions
is when they ask him about his education, his degrees, how much money he's making, how's the money being spent. Is he licensed? Is he certified? Has he ever been to jail? Does he have an actual criminal record? You know, why don't you take care of your children? Where's your mother? Can you show proof of life? Yeah, you ask any of those questions, he's definitely going to hang up. Umar's freaking clown. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit the 1 if you've hit that like button. You know, because Jay Wood Podcast wants to make sure that these videos stay at the top of the algorithm. Shout out to my brother in Christ. Thank you so much. Hit the 1 if you've hit that like button. Mama's not playing.
I have an emergency or a meeting. Other than that, I stay on until every parent gets the help they need because they need that. Our parents don't have nobody they can turn to. When they get a psych evaluation, they don't have nobody who's going to help them review that for free. When somebody wants to put their child on medicine and tell them they can't come back to school unless they're on psychiatric medicine, our parents don't know that the school cannot demand that they put their children on education. They don't know they have a right to say no to an evaluation. They don't understand that if their child is in special ed, they should only be suspended for 10 total days off the whole school year. Educational law is a very big area, and unfortunately is an area of the law in which we find Black parents to be largely ignorant. And that's why my work is so valuable, because I teach them their rights and I teach them in a way that no one else in this country is teaching them.
What phone number do they call every Tuesday from 6 to 8?
Morning call, because I don't know if
he said they stay on the phone until everyone's questions have been answered, but it's 6 to 8. Yeah. 2-hour block, but they stay on the phone until everyone has got their questions answered.
857
232
0158.
0158.
And I'll repeat 857 232 0158. And there's an access code.
That is?
Access code is 870 864 pound. 870 864 pound. Every Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. until 9 a.m. at that number, which is a free number. And of course, we want them to come out and sign up for the Parent Association.
Does that number still work? Has anybody tried to dial that number? Does it still work? Or has he abandoned that like he abandoned the actual school website domain?
Wednesday at the Shrine of the Black Madonna.
Parent Association, sign up on Wednesday, December 30th. From what time to what time, Dr. Umar?
The doors will open up at 4. The doors will open up at 4 o'clock.
Thank you, Lord.
At the Shrine of the Black Madonna. My presentation will be from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And I will have copies of my most important book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, which is a must-read for Black parents. If they read that book, they will be in a very good position to protect their child from any.
If it reads like that dissertation, you better not buy that book. It's going to dumb you down. Shout out to Laura, one of my fantastic mods here in the LLC, as well as my administrator on StreamYard. Shout out to you for the super. Thank you so much for the super. Let's help reach that goal. And make sure you guys are hitting that like button. I appreciate all of you all for tuning in.
Type of violation against their child's rights by the school.
Give the name of that book again, Dr. Umar.
Psychoacademic, TSYCHO hyphen, Psychoacademic Holocaust, the Special Education and ADHD Wars against Black boys.
And speaking of special education, what a lot of parents don't know is that a lot of the monies in special education in the city of Detroit has been transferred to other places. Our children are not getting, in the city of Detroit, they are not getting the type of education that they so much deserve.
And that's why we need the Parent Association.
Yeah.
That's exactly why we need it. That's exactly why we need it. And if any parent listening would like to help be an organizer, we want them all to participate. But if they would like to be an organizer, to play a leading role in starting the Detroit chapter, please send me an email, drumarjohnson@yahoo.com, so I know that you're someone who doesn't mind doing the groundwork of getting out, recruiting parents, doing the research, and educating and advocating for the parents. So I'm looking for those organizers and leaders, because March 25th through March 27th, this is a very important date. I will be hosting the very first organizing conference for new chapters of the National Independent Black Parents.
Shout out to you, Ginger Spice. Welcome in. Tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to all of you all tuning in. He can't stand being questioned because he's a fraud and he has an ego problem. She asks him simple questions. He's pitiful. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Ginger, for the 25 super. helping us meet and exceed our goal. I appreciate that. Thank you all so much. And listen, it doesn't have to stop there, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Make sure you guys are just hitting that like button. Thank you, Boston, man. True count. $25 super. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. All right, let's get back to it because she is going in on him. Well done, Cynthia.
Association. That will be on Saturday, March the 26th. I know Easter is the next day, the 27th, but the conference will be on Friday and Saturday, the 25th and the 26th. I haven't come up with a location yet. If you're interested in being a part of that chapter, a leader in the chapter, you would definitely need to come there and get the necessary training that I'm going to give, because we have to make sure we are absolutely clear on what the law is, how to advocate for our parents, what to teach them to do, what to train them not to do. This is the first time Black parents have been organized on a national scale to fight against educational racism. And so we're very proud.
Shout out to Bernice for the 99 super. Thank you. I seen this, looked over that one. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Bernice. Shout out to you.
Out of this new movement, and we need people to help us. Black people suffer, as you know, because of disorganization. If we do not organize, nothing else will change.
Absolutely. And that's the truth. And so when people start asking you questions, you won't get on the defense, will you?
Ma'am, do you know how often I have to answer that question?
I bet you, because I've seen it. I do know.
Degrees, okay?
I do know.
And it's a shame, because I don't get these questions from white people. White people know how to find out where I graduated from school.
Wait, I thought he didn't like white people. Whom I thought you were a hardcore racist. You know, snow bunnies never, black queens forever type of thing. You really think that white people want to ask you anything when you're walking around here parading yourself to be an actual racist? Are you kidding me? And you don't want any other race to donate money. So what reason would they really have to ask you about your degrees? They're not giving you any money. You don't want donors or sponsors outside of the African race because, you know, Africa. And you don't really treat their kids. You don't want to. So what reason would they have to even ask you about a degree? This is so asinine for him to say that. You can ask any question, but you just can't ask any question about my actual education, to which people will want to know what it is if I'm sitting here talking about, you know, testing their child in anything. His field of work requires a certain type of education, and he doesn't even want to disclose it. What a joke.
Oh, you understand? I speak at colleges. I'm the most requested African-American speaker in this country.
You know what, Dr. Umar, you know what I'm going to say to that when you say that white people don't ask that question. White people don't ask that question because, you know, actually, they really don't care.
The information. No, they do care. When I speak at a college.
No, they don't care because you don't want to treat their kids.
When I speak at colleges, they demand to see my curriculum vitae. They want to see that. You know what they do? They contact from college to college. They contact the colleges I graduated from to make sure I graduated.
Absolutely.
And having spoken at hundreds of colleges in this country, I have yet to have one to come back and say, oh, we found out that doctorate you claim you don't have. We found out that you're not a school psych. Really? You really think they're going to let me in a courtroom and testify in a special ed class action lawsuit without a degree?
So when I ask you the question, you know.
Yes, because if you have a certificate or a licensure, you don't have to have an actual doctorate degree to have a certificate. Even if you have a master's degree, hell, even if you have a bachelor's degree, as long as you have a certificate, you can do the basics. You can't, you know, do any clinical work on the child, but you can do anything the certification allows you to do. That includes testifying on, you know, in any child case that involves custody or, you know, parental time, anything. And don't think that they only summon people in who are, you know, who only have doctorate degrees. If the court deems you to be an expert witness, then there are a list of questions and a process you have to go through in order for the court to deem you to be an expert witness. You know, because Umar doesn't know how court works. He can't articulate that either. So he's just saying shit and it tries to make it sound good and it doesn't. It just comes off as, you know, ignorance because he doesn't understand how the courts verify someone to be an expert witness at something.
What, honestly, I love you. Okay. I love your work. I love what you do, but you know, I've gone online and I have seen. Wait a minute. But wait a minute. Wait a minute, Umar. Wait. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Listen, when I went online, I talked to some, not talked to, but I've seen.
Who did you talk to?
Wait a minute.
Only expert on Umar Johnson. Who did you talk to about me?
Wait a minute. That's why I said.
This is what she's saying. She couldn't verify his education because the name that she used could not render or did not render a degree. So clearly, he should have just said, I have a different name. Why is that so hard? I don't get it. He doesn't give white people this hard of a time because I'm sure he will tell them, hey, I changed my name. I was actually born Jermaine Shoemake.
Yeah, that's why I corrected myself.
Unbelievable.
Don't be trying to overtalk me, Dr. Umar.
Put his ass on mute.
Who did you talk to?
Wait a minute. I said, I corrected that. I said, I went online and I saw where there were some people who came.
There's going to be jealousy. Of course.
Why are you not letting me finish?
The country, and you have a larger following than anyone else. People are going to be jealous.
Of course,
Put his ass on
we
mute.
know that. We know that. But
tell me, because you saw hatred written about me, you automatically assume that it could be true. Really?
Questioning his education somehow has translated to hatred because Umar is a weakling with no spine. Because he always wants to play the victim. And because he's a coward. Your dissertation sucks ass, Umar.
That's the power of negativity in the black community, that anything negative said about somebody is automatically something worth following up. Really?
Yes.
No, he just takes free speeches.
And that's not a shame, because when a person asks you a question and you hem and haw, when a person asks a question and you hem and haw, that's almost similar to.
Can I ask you a question? What law did you find written anywhere that says when someone graduates from college,
I didn't look.
Credentials are published online? No, I'm asking you a question.
I didn't look.
Well, I know he's not a victim. He plays a victim.
I didn't look. I did not look, Dr. Umar. What I did do is go
online. Everybody graduates.
I have enjoyed you so much.
And I've enjoyed you.
I really have. And I'm going to see you. I'm going to
come back on your show and talk about the
well, we talked partly about it, but we need to know who Dr. Umar Johnson is, because there's too many.
Who don't know?
Listen, I know who you are, but I don't know who you are. And so because of that, we are going to get you back on the show. And when I see you on December 30th, you better not turn your back. You better give me a hug.
I'm going to give you a big hug and thank you.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Bless her heart. She did her best, y'all. She did her best. She did her best. All right, y'all. I want to get to the actual information that we're here for today. That was good. I mean, she challenged him. She still, and this could have, because this is old. I'm sure her views on him has changed significantly, because if she had doubt questions then, she definitely has them now. Click. This is something else. Clown want to sit here and get mad because somebody asking about his education. Yes, we're asking about your education, you clown. Of course we're asking. Of course we're asking. So I want to pull up the court documents. All right. And I'm going to start with Lenon, because the lawsuit that he filed against Lenon is a lot shorter. Let me make sure I have this pulled up here. Oh, where is... Okay, I'm trying to pull up the PDF files. Okay, here we go. So I said I was going to go over the lawsuit that he had filed on Lenon Honor. Okay, because it's just, it's not long, but also did and shout out to Manny. He sent me the chat GPT on the Archibald case, because that one is a lot more detailed, but Lennon's was more straightforward. So I'm gonna try my best not to show I think an address is listed there. I'm just gonna scroll down past that. So if you guys see me do a quick scroll, it's because of that. So let me make sure you guys can see this. Let me know, put a 1 in the chat if you can see the court document here. This is the complaint that Umar filed against Lenon because, reasons. Even though he had this man doxxed. Can you believe it? You can't make this stuff up. So let's go through this right quick, and then we're going to go over to And I'll show the Archibald court documents that I have obtained. And then we're going to go to Chat GPT to read over the summaries, because I don't want to read every page. But if you guys want me to upload these documents and put them on the membership only channel, I am more than happy to do so. Shout out to those 10 people who got gifted memberships today. YouTube give content creators 10 free memberships when you're eligible for the membership program. So I've gifted out my 10 that I get for the month. And if you've gotten one, take advantage of it. Some great content there on the members only channel. So let's get to it. So I like I said, I don't know who all has read these court documents. I'm sure Lenon has gone over this as well. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go through the intro, and I have to kind of put up a thing while I scroll past his personal information, because this man has been doxxed enough, and I'm not gonna show his address on here. So as you guys can see, this was the United States District Court, Eastern District of Pennsylvania. This was a federal lawsuit. Okay, this is District Court. That's federal court. The case number on that was 21-CV-02273-RBS. Let me scroll in. It's only 5 pages. This was filed on May 18th of 2021. And of course, he asked for a jury trial because reasons. So let me make sure you guys see he put down an address for, is that the school address? I don't know if that, it looks like the school address, but let me scroll past the addresses right quick. I'm going to put this up for a second, just for a second, so I can scroll past the addresses. Because, Umar is a big ass baby. He'll sit here and swear you tried to dox him. And then the defendant listed as Lenon Honor. And I'm just scrolling past his address here. All right, let's take down the cover. All right, and we're back. So as you guys can see, the basis for jurisdiction, federal courts are courts of limited jurisdiction. Only 2 types of cases can be heard in federal court: cases involving a federal question and cases involving diversity of citizenship of the parties. Under 28 U.S.C. Statute 1331, a case involving the U.S. Constitution or federal laws or treaties is a federal question case. Under 28 U.S.C. Statute 1332, a case in which a citizen of one state sues a citizen of another state and the amount in damages is more than $75,000 is a diversity of citizenship case. All right. So he checked off, and Umar's the plaintiff in this. He checked off federal questions. And then he said the basis for this is Federal Copyright Act 17 USC 101 Digital Millennium Act of 2000. So he's suing Lenon Honor for copyright infringement. That's basically what that comes down to. Okay. So let's go to the statement of claim. This is where you describe the case, the facts of the case, how the actual law was violated in the complaint, and you give like the relevant events of the case itself. And he says here, the violations of copyright infringement, harassment, and slander occurred via the YouTube social media platform. Let's not forget, Umar did not go to law school. He's not an attorney. He does not know how court works. He certainly does not know how to fill out a complaint. And he doesn't understand the law. And he's alleging that Lenon Honor violated copyright infringement laws by harassing and slandering him on YouTube. What does copyright infringement have anything to do with harassment and slander? You can't make this shit up. And you'd be surprised how many people get on YouTube. They don't have a solid bone in their body. They don't handle criticism well. And yet they try to take people to court. Thank you so much, Andrea, for the $4.99 super. Again, Black parents don't need Umar. He's always calling Black people stupid. We need Umar because we're too slow to understand anything without him. Have my ass off. Yeah, that's in his alternate universe in his mind. What's going on, Rim Rum TV? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Andromeda, how you doing? How recent is this lawsuit? This was filed in 2021. Okay. So I'm not sure if Lenon has gone over this, but I wanted to go over this because of the recent settlement he did with Marianne Lorient and to show you all how stupid Umar is when it comes to matters of the law. There's a reason why he dodges service when it comes to going to court. Even in this case where he's the petitioner, he's the one that filed the complaint against Lenon Honor. And he can't even express or show that he understands copyright infringement laws because he's considering harassment and slander to be a violation of copyright infringement. Because you can't make this shit up. He's not meant to be on social media. He's a coward. So he said that the event started during December of 2019 to the present day, up until 2021. So yeah, he's been violating copyright infringement laws because harassment and slander for 2 years. I'm sorry, what in that is copyrighted again? Oh my God. So he says here, Lenon Honor, this is supposed to be a fact. Okay. Background facts are supposed to be facts, provable statements that can be supported with documentation and evidence. Not his assumption. Lenon Honor has used over 500 videos without any written copyright permissions or licenses from my social media platforms. Which social media platform do you own, Umar? So Umar would have had to prove that he owns a platform and that there are copyright claims on 500 videos that belong to Umar that he has copyright claims to. You have to prove that you have the right to claim the content on a third-party platform like YouTube. And you're talking about 500 videos. So Umar, you have 500 videos that you have actual copyright claims to. This is not your platform. YouTube is not your platform. YouTube is a subsidiary to Google. This is not your platform. YouTube would be very offended you saying that. He has used these videos to defame, slander, and commit large-scale copyright infringement. How? So Umar would have had to prove that he has the right to claim these 500 videos as his original work, because that's how that law works. So obviously this is not a fact because he didn't state that he even is the owner of those 500 videos. It's not his original work, and he would not be able to prove that he has a copyright claim to 500 videos on YouTube. This is how stupid he is. Defame, slander, commit large-scale copyright infringement. Okay, so I'm sure by the time the judge read that, they laughed, as I am. So who did it? Lenon Honor stole over 500 videos from my social media accounts and cell phone, which constitute a violation of privacy and copyright infringement. Once again, you would have to prove that you have the copyright claim to these $500 videos. I was about to say $500. Yeah, Umar can't even prove he's got $500 too. So now you got to prove that the 500 videos are your videos. He used all these videos to slander my business and commit an act of slander against me. Why is he repeating himself? I want you all to understand the stupidity in this. He used these videos, 500 videos, to slander my business. What's your business, Umar? I thought it was to be the director of a school. The school that's not open, that doesn't even have a website. You understand how bad Umar Johnson would have been mollywopped in court by Lenon Honor's attorney? Because I'm sure Lenon Honor probably had to hire an attorney. They would have mollywopped Umar. And mind you, Umar filed this as pro se. So he filed this without an attorney's help or advice or counsel or anything, because he thinks he knows it all. So I am here to laugh at you, Umar, because you're a clown. He slandered your business, whatever that is, grifting, and commit an act of slander against me. You have to prove whatever the slander is that is provably false and done with a reckless disregard for the truth. Because Umar doesn't understand how court works. As of right now, Lenon Honor is the main individual involved. Oh, God. Hundreds of people from the public can see the slander and harassment via the YouTube platform. First, he said, hold on, he said, from my social media platforms. But now he says from the YouTube platforms. You can't make this shit up. Hundreds of people. Who else saw what happened? Hundreds of people. Umar, you idiot. There are over 1 billion users on YouTube. How do you narrow down the people that saw this alleged copyright infringement? Because that part has not even been cleared up. Y'all, hit the one if you have hit the like button to this. I mean, who else is giving you this great breakdown right now? Shout out to Lenon Honor for being so brave and having to endure the bullshit of Umar Johnson. Oh my God. Yeah, hit that like button. 130 people watching. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hit the one if you hit that like button. I'm not playing. I'm shaking the bushes today. This is unbelievable. Okay, hundreds of people from the public can see the slander. We can see the slander? Or do we hear the slander? Umar. Okay, because he's an idiot. Umar, slander is verbal. Libel is written. Do you understand that? You haven't proved that you own 500 videos. And you have to prove that the statements he made is actually false statements that you can prove with evidence to be false. You don't have a school. You have 2 bandos that somehow you've managed to clutter up, just like your mind and your brain, full of shit. This is ridiculous. Injuries. Okay. Because he doesn't know how court works. He didn't list any injuries. The relief. Injuries can also include damage. Okay. Whatever damage you cause, and not just medical. How were you damaged by this alleged slander and copyright infringement and, somehow you thinking you own YouTube? Y'all, this is insane. Let me zoom in. Relief. State to the court what you want the court to do for you and the amount of monetary compensation, if any, you are seeking and the basis for such compensation. I request that Lenon Honor's YouTube channel and videos be removed and that I be compensated for $5,000. So 500 videos you claim you have copyright claim to own, like your original work. 500 videos. So what's that? $10 a video? And he asking for $5,000. Oh, and the court cannot force YouTube to take down videos. No. Your complaint is against Lenon Honor. So you can't ask the court to have a third party who's not a third person who's not a party to the case to do anything. The court would not be able to order YouTube when YouTube is not a co-defendant to take down Lenon Honor's videos. If anything, let's just say someone has a valid claim because Umar does not. But let's say someone does have a valid claim and say that there's some sort of copyright infringement. Someone used their work that they have proof that they can show that they have a copyright claim to, or they own the rights to that video, and someone uses it without their permission and doubles down on it and refuses to remove it. First, there's a process you have to go through with YouTube before you even think about filing a lawsuit to the court. Because the first thing the judge is going to ask, have you tried to remedy this outside of court? Did you go to YouTube and report the video? What did they say? So you have to show you had some attempt in trying to get some sort of resolution through YouTube because it's their platform. And if that were to occur and you had a valid claim, the only thing the judge will be able to do is order the defendant to remove their video, not order YouTube to remove it. That's the crazy part. This is how stupid Umar is when it comes to the law. He doesn't understand the law. He doesn't understand how court works or how to fill out a petition. So he wanted $5,000 and for the court to tell YouTube to take down Lenon Honor's videos in his channel. I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. May 18th, 2021, he scribbled his name, like a 2-year-old because reasons. And of course, he was pro se. None of this is filled out here for prisoners. All right, let's go to the next tab. You can't make this shit up, y'all. Oh, this is fun for me. I love reading these court documents. It's so juicy. Okay, so moving on to the next thing. What's up, Dr. CB? This is some shit. Why would you go to federal court for something about $5,000 when it needed to be a minimum of $75,000, Umar? Did you not pay attention to the instructions? Exactly. It should have went to small claims court. Tavares, you're absolutely correct. This is a small claims court matter. But it would have been dismissed because he can't prove that he owns the original work of 500 videos. And he's trying to tie in slander and harassment with copyright infringement. That's not how the law works. And that would have been dismissed. That motion to dismiss would have been epic. I'll tell y'all right now. Watch out, you can't make this shit up. Oh my God. So this should have went to small claims court because it doesn't meet the minimum requirement for it to go to a U.S. district court. He didn't even ask for the $75,000, even though he wouldn't have gotten it. He would not have gotten it. He would have had, this case would have been dismissed anyway. It's so stupid. So as you all can see here, let me zoom in. This is an order. After the petition was filed, then of course, I think Lenon did a response of some sort, and naturally, the first thing in civil proceedings like this is the motion to dismiss. Right? You're invalidating it. You're saying this is stupid. Why is this case here? And I'm sure Lenon Honor had an attorney at some point to help him, respond to this. So let's go to the first page here. This is an order filed on May 27, 2021. Honestly, Lenon Honor didn't even have to get an attorney on this because it's so simple, but either way. This order says, and now this 29th day of May 2021, plaintiff Umar Johnson, having submitted a complaint to the court without either paying the fees, y'all look at this, without paying the fees. Let me zoom in some more. Because, he's a clown. Without paying the fees to commence a civil action or filing a motion to proceed in forma pauperis, it is ordered that. Now, in forma pauperis is saying, I, Your Honor, have either been incarcerated and I don't have money to be able to pay for court cost and I need a waiver, or basically I'm a pauper and I'm poor. I cannot afford the court costs due to these circumstances and situation, and you would have to present a financial affidavit. A financial affidavit would force him to disclose his income, expenses, any assets that he has. I mean, it goes down a whole list. You have to show the court that you are truly a pauper, which means that you're broke as hell. You have to prove that in your financial affidavit, in your financial documents. So since he did not pay the court costs, which is, I don't know why they even file stamp that petition without the court cost fee being paid, nor did he file a petition asking the court to basically waive the court costs because, you're raising all this money and you can't even pay the court costs, but you want to sue somebody. claiming you got 500 videos that you have some sort of copyright claim to. Oh, and they're harassing and slandering you. 2 more claims you would not be able to prove. All that money raised and he couldn't pay the court costs. This goes to show that he doesn't even use the money to take care of business if that were true. If any of the claims that he made was remotely true, why would you not use the money from your book sales and your speaking events to pay the court costs? You claim you raised over $1.67 million. Why wouldn't you pay the $300-400 court cost of the filing fee? Look at this. It says here, it is ordered that if Johnson seeks to proceed with this case, he must within 30 days, they gave him 30 days, of the date of this order. So he had 30 days from May 29th, 2021, to either, 1, pay $402, comprising the $350 filing fee and the $52 administrative fee to the clerk of the court, or 2, file a motion to proceed in forma pauperis. So they even gave him 30 days to make a decision. You're going to pay us $402, or you need to be filing a petition to proceed in forma pauperis, to which he would have to hand over a financial affidavit. He would have to prove to the court he's broke. Because if that be the case, anyone can file a petition. You could be a millionaire filing a petition in forma pauperis and say, I can't afford the fee. So that's why they make you prove your financials. They make you do a financial affidavit. And that affidavit is done under the penalty of perjury. Just like that petition we saw. He declared that those statements were true and ongoing under the penalty of perjury. And yet he wouldn't be able to prove that he's the original owner of 500 videos. So he lied to the court. Because he lies to the court and he doesn't even care. 2, the clerk of court shall provide Johnson with an appropriate non-prisoner application to proceed in forma pauperis. So since he was not a prisoner, then it would be a non-prisoner application, meaning you're just saying you're broke, you can't afford it. You know, you didn't go to prison, or you weren't in prison, and you need to be able, or you're not in prison currently, and you need to be able to get a waiver. Bearing the civil action number of this case, Johnson may use this form to seek leave to proceed in forma pauperis if he cannot afford to pay the fees to commence this case. Johnson, number 3, Johnson is directed to show cause within 30 days of the date of this order as to why this case should not be transferred to the District of Utah pursuant to 28 USC Statute 1406 due to improper venue. Now, what does that mean? That means that because the amount that he was asking for did not meet the minimum $75,000, you filed this complaint to the wrong damn court. Like you said, it should have been a small claims court. So they would have pushed it back to the correct venue either way. Y'all, he's a pauper. Someone tell Umar, I know you're watching. I don't even need anybody to tell you this on my behalf from the Lady Luck Club. We all know that you're a pauper. You're broke. You have nowhere to live. You're an idiot and you don't know how laws work or how to navigate the courts. And whomever your attorneys are, they're filing slap suits. So that's indicative of the people that you keep around you, that you claim know the law. You can't make this stuff up. So when you guys see these little, numbers at the top, they correspond to a footnote here. So this number 1 here corresponds to this form is available on the court's website. It's a PDF. He would have had to go on there, put a little effort into it, and fill it out his damn self because the court is not here to be your attorney or your secretary or anything. Number 2 is the footnote here at the bottom. Johnson, a resident of Delaware, filed this lawsuit against Lenon Honor, a resident of Utah, alleging that Honor violated the Copyright Act and the Digital Millennium Copyright Act the footnote continues, by using over 500 videos without any written copyright permissions or licenses from Johnson's social media platforms. It appears that this conduct took place on the YouTube platform. Johnson also alleges that this conduct constituted slander and harassment. There's more here at the bottom. Let me read number 4 first. If Johnson fails to either pay the fee or seek leave to proceed in forma pauperis in accordance with this order, his case may be dismissed without further notice for failure to prosecute. meaning failing to move forward with it. Do what the court has told you to do. Either pay the money or complete the informa proprius petition and get the hell on somewhere and sit out. So, quite personally, I would have asked for the court to dismiss with prejudice so that this nonsense does not come back to any court, because this is obviously a frivolous petition. That is what Umar is good for, filing frivolous petitions to the court. Frivolous petitions in bad faith. That's the quickest way to have your petitions be blackballed and dismissed with prejudice so that you're not able to continue to abuse the courts filing frivolous petitions in bad faith. So good on the court for catching that. And this was signed by the court, R. Barclay Cirque, and this is the judge. So if you read further at the bottom, civil action suits or proceedings arising under any act of Congress relating to copyrights may be instituted in the district in which the defendant or his agent resides or may be found. So because Lenon Honor resides in the state of Utah, this would have had to go through a court in Utah. I don't know why he filed this. Why did he file this in the Eastern District? Oh, he filed it where he lived. He didn't file it where Lenon Honor lives. And he had Lenon Honor's address. But this is what happens when you don't read court rules and understand laws, Umar. You do dumb shit. And you waste the court's time. This is crazy. Plus, it would have been pushed down because it was not the minimum $75,000. So you filed in the wrong venue. This should have gone to a court in Utah. A defendant in a copyright action may be found wherever the defendant is subject to personal jurisdiction. Thus, venue in a copyright action is proper in any judicial district in which the defendant would be amenable to personal jurisdiction if the district were a separate state. Since they live in two separate states, then the petition has to be filed when you're talking about copyright actions. It has to be filed in the state where the defendant resides. All right? Blah, blah, blah. In this case, for the court to have jurisdiction over Honor, who allegedly resides in Utah, Honor must have certain minimum contacts with Pennsylvania such that the maintenance of the suit does not offend traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. This means Honor must have purposefully reached out to this forum and that Johnson's claims arise out of or relate to Honor's contacts. All right, so they're saying, explaining that for specific jurisdiction over a defendant to exist, 1, defendant must have purposefully directed his activities at the forum. 2, the litigation must arise out of or relate to at least one of these activities. And 3, the exercise of jurisdiction otherwise comports with fair play and substantial justice. So let's say that some of the activities regarding the copyright action occurred in the state of Pennsylvania, and Umar could prove it, then they would allow the case to remain in the state of Pennsylvania. But it still should not be in a U.S. district court either. But either way, you know, it was going to go to Utah, where Honor resides. So that's what this information down here states. And this is the order of them saying pay the fee or, you know, do a informal purpose, and you need to show cause. Show cause as to why this should not be transferred to the District of Utah, or we're going to dismiss this dumbass case. So here's the new order that came. Y'all, you can't make this up. This is good stuff. Hit that like button. You know, we're not going to be too much longer. So here's the final order in this matter. In the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, on the 3rd day of August, y'all, May 29th was the date of the previous order here. He had 30 days from May 29th to do whatever needed to be done. The last order came on the 3rd of August. So that means he went from May 29th to June 29th to July 29th. So he was given 2 extra months. Another 30 good days to actually do show cause, pay the cost, or file the petition. And he didn't do it. So now on this 3rd day of August 21, In light of pro se, let me zoom in. Pro se plaintiff Umar Johnson's failure to either pay the fees to commence this case or seek leave to proceed in informal purportis in accordance with the court's order entered on May 27, 2021, which one granted him 30 days to do so, and two, warned him that if he failed to comply with the order, that this case would be dismissed. It is ordered that 1. Johnson's case is dismissed without prejudice for failure to prosecute because he doesn't understand how laws work. And 2, the clerk of court is directed to close this case. Get the hell out of our court. Bye, you bum. Signed, the judge. Oh, man, here's a footnote. The order and accompanying paperwork. Y'all see at the bottom here? The order and accompanying paperwork were mailed and emailed to Johnson on May 27, 21. When the order sent to Johnson via mail was returned undeliverable, it was emailed to Johnson a second time on June 22nd, 2021. So he didn't even provide an address to where he could get any mail to even get the court documents. And it came back undeliverable. And you wonder why no one took your dumb ass seriously. Umar. You can't make this up. And then you go to court and you lie under the penalty of perjury. And for that reason, I would have made sure, all right, I'm going to file something to make sure that you're held accountable for lying like hell to the court and wasting the court's time. You filed this frivolous petition in bad faith. You're disrupting my life. If Lenon Honor had to get an attorney, I would have asked for my attorney's fees back and everything else. And that would have been the last time he would have F'd with me. This is insane. So the judge said, get the hell out of here. And you can come back, but you better go back to Utah. So, y'all, you can't make this shit up. So having said that, Umar is a moron. Let's go to Archibald's case. I'm going to show you all these documents here. It's 76 pages, y'all. I'm not going to go through all of that tonight because it's pretty lengthy. I did do a chat GPT to summarize it, and we'll go over the summary. But I wanted to show you all. I got the court documents here, filed on July 17, 23, one of 76. So I'm just we'll go over the letter. So you have to the Honorable Judge Milton Younge, U.S. District Court, Eastern District of Pennsylvania, and it has the address, the courtroom, regarding Archibald v. Johnson, date July 12, 23. Motion to reopen case number 2020-CV-06207. CV is like a civil procedure for civil. CR is criminal. So when you see CV, that's civil. If it were a CR, it would be criminal. All right. Dear Judge Young, I respectfully ask for leave of court to open this lawsuit and proceed under the current name or alternatively, as John Doe. Umar Johnson, Poetic Flacco, and Shaquem Harris. Who is Poetic Flacco and Shaquem Harris? Anybody know? Anybody know who yeah, it seems like he used a fake address. Why would you use an address where you know it's going to come back undeliverable? He files this lawsuit, but he doesn't even provide the court with an actual physical address. The same thing that happened with the writ of monition. Lying about not getting court documents, but the only thing you have listed with the court is a P.O. box. They cannot service you at a P.O. box. You need a physical address. Umar still has not figured it out, and it's now the year of our Lord 2025. You wonder why people don't take him seriously. He's a clown. He's an idiot. So, if someone can tell me Poetic Flacco, okay, Poetic Flacco is a YouTuber. Okay, who is Shaquem? Is it Shaquem Harris? Is that a female or male? You want to know who that is? Poetic Flacco is Zesty. Are you Zesty, Poetic Flacco? They must really hurt his feelings. I know who they are, LadyLuckClub. Okay, cool. I don't know. I think so. Yeah, this is so crazy. Oh, the judge said, get the hell out of here. Get out of my courtroom with this nonsense. All right, let's get back to it, y'all. So he has Umar and Poetic Flacco, who's a content creator, and Shaquem Harris. I don't know who that is. Listed here. They're all aware of this lawsuit. The proposed operative complaint is included in this mailing. In 23, adverse actions related to Archibald V. Johnson continue to occur. This includes a 2023 swatting attempt against a U.S. military veteran who was doxxed, defamed, and targeted by Umar Johnson, Poetic Flacco, and Shaquem Harris. See, when we, as content creators, it's imperative that you do your own research before you jump on the bandwagon and start ostracizing people. See, I started doing my research on Umar. Okay. First thing I do is some sort of legal research. That's kind of my niche. That's what I do. And no, I'm not an attorney and I'm not a lawyer. My godmother's a federal judge. But my interest in the law is because she who knows the law has the power. You need to be familiar with the law, understand your rights, and understand the protections that you've been afforded. So that's first thing I typically look for is, okay, what is the criminal history or any legal issues that they've experienced? That gives me a better idea of who I'm dealing with. And then, of course, I look for pattern of behavior and conduct. How long have they been doing what they're doing? You're talking about somebody like Umar raising money. Okay, what are you raising money for? What's the intent? How long have you been raising money? Where's this money going? How is it being spent? So that's kind of what gets the ball rolling for me. So when I do my reporting, I can show you factual documentation and evidence on things. That's why I like pulling up court documents, because you can't deny the court documents exist. And oftentimes, if you have facts stated in the actual court documents, there's usually some sort of exhibit. So that's your evidence to support what's going on with the court document itself. Then you got liars like Umar that will lie to a court under penalty of perjury for no damn reason at all, because his feelings are hurt. This has nothing to do with slander harassment to Umar. Umar is the one that's doxing people and cyberbullying and cyber harassing people. He's the one doing that. And this is proof of it. And he does it to countless individuals. So the U.S. military veteran, I'm assuming this is referring to Archibald. Is Archibald a U.S. military veteran? Is that a yes? Okay, cool. So, Poetic Flacco, slight heavy set with speech impediment. Does he have speech impediment? I know who the military person is too. So it's not Archibald. Archibald's not the actual veteran. If that's the case, it seems like he was doing this on behalf of somebody, which is fine. So they're saying that he was doxxed, defamed, and targeted, because we've all seen videos of Umar giving out people's address and sicking people on, his so-called ops, because reasons, words. He has some spine. Everything he see or hear is criticism. He calls it hate and slander. You have to prove that what's being said is provably false and that it reaches beyond free speech. He gets to vomit nonsense every day on his platform. And he tells countless lies. The moment someone says something about him, he can't take what he's dishing out. I find that to be hypocritical and a coward. Very cowardly. Umar Johnson has repeatedly asked and encouraged his followers, supporters, loyalists, cult members, and or clout chasers to dox, threaten, harass, and execute various types of attacks, quoting Poetic Flacco in 2023, against Black people, including myself, who are critical of Umar Johnson and FDMG, a school that's not open. Respectfully submitted to the court, August Archibald plaintiff pro se, and CC Umar Johnson, the defendants, basically. Poetic Flacco, aka, and it has his name here listed, and then Shaquem Harris. I still don't know who that is. All right, so here's the filing here. Like I said, it's 76 pages long. So I'm going to go to the summary. If you guys want me to just, upload this in a separate video and post it up to the members only channel, which is where I put the majority of my court documents, I can do that for this one, and as well as the court docs for Lenon Honor. I'll make sure to black out the addresses there so that the man has been doxed enough. This is showing some exhibits and photos and everything else. Look at this. Now, here's an example. Prior to targeting women at the district attorney's office in Ventura County, California, Umar Johnson targeted another woman in 2018, alleging she's anti-Afro Svengalis. What the hell? They're literally putting people's private information out there. And for what? You still didn't open the school, you clown. This is illegal, Umar. LGBT plus confronted King Kong consciousness, and it didn't end well for her. So is that his channel? That raises the question, is that his YouTube channel again? Because, he's using this channel to dox people by posting up these videos on that channel. Umar Johnson subsequently doxed and threatened the woman for confronting him. Unbelievable. And they proud of, they're bragging about it. LGBT plus confronted King Kong consciousness, and it didn't even go for her. This is unbelievable. Umar Johnson's good guys, Poetic Flacco, publicly target Black people who are critical of Umar Johnson and FDMG. Is any of this worth your good liberty and freedom? Poetic Flacco, is he still doing this? Does he still support Umar? This is a letter where Archibald is asking for this case to be reopened in 2023. So does he still do this? What the hell? Why don't these content creators understand that they can be just as guilty and held just as culpable? Is it worth your liberty and freedom? They can also be reported to the FBI. Do they not understand that, or they don't care? Woody Kitty, he spends more time harassing people than he does working on the buildings. Exactly. He won't even vacuum and clean up that gym. Manny said yes. So he's still helping Umar's clown ass dox people and break the law. Mike Jones Jr., that was Umar's pull-up team. Are you kidding? They had a name. A criminal enterprise? Is that what I'm hearing? So this criminal organization had a name where they committed cyber crimes against people. Unbelievable. I didn't even show the address that Umar put down on that lawsuit complaint that he filed in bad faith. That's so crazy to me. There was a lady who calls herself Anti-Afro Svengalis who was heavily critical of Umar. He was doxing her with the wrong person's name and picture. What? Archibald was the veteran. Oh, okay. Hey, Dave Bryce, how you doing? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. We're going over some cases that Umar either filed and lost like hell because, he failed to prosecute and pay money. Or we have, excuse me, we have this case here where a pro se plaintiff has asked the court to reopen the matter because the cyber crimes are still being committed. At this point, I would also do an FBI complaint if I were Archibald. I would do a FBI complaint. Is Archibald, is he still alive? I would love to interview him. Good to see you. What's going on, Saint? I ain't seen you creep in here. I'm sorry. How you doing, honey? Shout out to my mods. I have the best mods on YouTube. Black Anonymous, I made you a mod as well. If you don't want it though, let me know. But I made you a mod as well. I appreciate your support. Keep the chat flowing. Y'all make sure y'all hitting the like button. 150 people watching too. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Oh, good. All right, cool. So if Archibald is still with us, I would love to have him on the Lady Luck Club to discuss this case or whatever he's willing to discuss about it. Because, like I said, I'm still learning about Umar, and this is something else. He's got other content creators involved in this. And Poetic Flacco has a huge channel. What is he thinking? Let me go there. I'm trying to, because I'm trying to understand why would he aid in this? He has 294,000 subs. Why would he participate in cybercrime? So he still supports Umar and FDMG. I know damn well he has not amassed 294,000 supporters, and he's sitting here doxing people because of Umar. Unbelievable. Has he not paid attention to the lawsuits and the frivolous petitions he's filed? I just don't get it. Oh, I see what kind of content he has. I'm just looking at his channel, you all. And hold on, let me switch over right quick. This is his channel. Misunderstood. There's nothing misunderstood about cybercrimes. Doxing is illegal. He has 294,000 subscribers. And he's sitting here capping for Umar? Why? Yeah, that's going to be a good question the judge will ask him. I mean, no one's even trying to... More victims. Hold on. Dr. Umar Johnson just got exposed for more lies and scams. This was a month ago. So, he messed up badly. Okay, so is he doing this for show, or is he actually understanding that Umar is a scammer and a con artist here? How's this going? This is crazy. He's now making videos against Umar. Why would he? I mean, does he not realize he could still be accountable for what he aided in? He blew up after the Umar stuff. Okay, you know what's so crazy? If he did that with the intent to gain more notoriety, which would mean more money for him, that's even worse. Because now you made money aiding in cybercrimes. You made money off of that. That's insane. Yeah, I'm trying to hit 30,000 supporters. I'm not even that far away from it. But I am not going to sit here. I'm 94 people away from being at 28,000 supporters. And then, of course, we need 2 more thousand to hit 30. I pray and hope that that happens, swiftly. I would love to wake up by next week and have 50,000 supporters. But not at the expense of aiding in doxing and cyber harassment and cyberbullying either. It's not worth it because you're being named in federal lawsuits and you could be reported to the FBI. This is insane. You aided in cyber doxing, in cyber harassment and doxing people. Doxing and cyberbullying is a component under cyber harassment. And then you put people's livelihoods and their safety at risk when you dox them. So if he did this to gain notoriety, then it would be reported as him making money off of this. You made money, you broke the law, and you aided in this behavior to have your channel blow up, and you made money from it. This is insane. Oh, child, you can't make this up. So y'all let me know if you guys want me to post up this lawsuit. It's going to go to the members only channel. I'll tell you that right now. Because it would take time to actually scroll through with some music in the background so you can read it for yourselves. And I don't mind doing that for this case and the lawsuit filing and documents for Johnson versus Honor. The one Umar filed against Lenon Honor. That was laughed out of court. It's crazy. Umar Johnson's long-term girlfriend, Sharon S. Thomas, shut down her business after Pennsylvania issued a cease and desist order to FDMG in 22. The cease and desist order is dated March 4, 22. News of the cease and desist order broke on or about April 26, 22. On May 22nd, 22, Thomas Recrafted Life Business announced its closure. Thomas's business was funded by donations to FDMG. Umar Johnson has refused discuss dealings between himself, FDMG, Thomas, and Recrafted Life. What? So, he was using contribution dollars to fund his lifestyle and someone else's all these years. This is going back to 2022, people. So he's funneling FDMD donations to Thomas's business, probably to Thomas's accounts as well, which would be money laundering. His good guys, namely Poetic Flacco, were targeting a Black-owned business in Missouri. You can't make this stuff up. Poetic Flacco's act of redemption was short-lived. Poetic Flacco sought to jeopardize Reverend Palmer's employment, a pastor's employment. You going to hell, man. You sought to harm a reverend's employment, a minister. Reverend Palmer's employment. Poetic Flacco supported and promoted lies told by Shakim Ra Harris about Reverend Palmer. Poetic Flacco said he was going to make a special trip to the city where Reverend Palmer resides. Poetic Flacco threatened to file a lawsuit against Reverend Palmer for what? That's a slap suit. The lawsuit threat was an attempt made by Poetic Flacco to stop Reverend Palmer from speaking the truth and stating the facts about Poetic Flacco. That's called a slap suit. SLAPP lawsuit. It is one of those strategic lawsuits designed to shut down your critics, and it is designed to be intimidating and threatening in and of itself. And oftentimes, slap lawsuits are also defamatory because you're lying like hell in a lawsuit filed to a court of law about that individual, and you're asking for an unreasonable amount of money. It's designed to try to bankrupt that person. What in the world? Why would you do this to a reverend? Y'all, this is crazy. Oh my God. I said I wasn't going to read this whole thing. I'm just looking at the exhibits right now with these pictures and stuff. I can't believe that this content creator would do this with 200. Now you've gotten 294,000 subscribers. That doesn't mean that you're going to be removed from lawsuits or that you're not going to be reported. This is crazy. Oh my God. Y'all, they got pictures of everybody. Look at this. What is he doing? The good guys, child's play. Oh, the Chucky doll. Y'all, you can't make this up, man. They sitting here talking about harassment, all kinds of stuff. Poetic Flacco publicly doxing an American Black family. See below. Because Lenon Honor, the father of the family, Black family, was a public critic and detractor of Umar Johnson and FDMG. Poetic Flacco live streamed this video on YouTube less than 2 months after he learned about and blamed Lenon Honor for Archibald v. Johnson. What you cannot do is intimidate, threaten, or harass anyone that is seeking legal recourse in the court of law or that is seeking to file a investigation, a complaint with a federal agency, or they're part of an investigation. First of all, it's obstruction, and you're sitting here intimidating, which could be tampering. You don't have the legal authority to intimidate or harass someone from not reporting a crime, a potential crime that needs to be investigated, or from filing a lawsuit to get to seek some level of justice in the court of law. That's illegal in and of itself. Unbelievable. This is when he went on the Breakfast Club and said all that dumb shit. You can't make this up. Mr. Real Estate was investigated by the SEC. Oh, Lord. Yeah, this is the company you keep, Umar. Other criminals. This guy is investigated by the SEC. Morrison allegedly scammed former business partners such as Tony Robinson out of tens of thousands of dollars. Morrison's fund has been the subject of much public discussion. Hold on. With investors being unable to withdraw funds that were invested with Morrison. Similar to Johnson, Morrison attempted to cast himself as the reincarnation of Malcolm X. Similar to Johnson, it could be argued that Morrison used Black people in the Black struggle to create a self-described rich and swaggy, lavish lifestyle for himself. Morrison has been labeled as untrustworthy and unethical by his detractors. All I had to see was that he was being investigated by the SEC. That's it. He keeps people who do shady shit around him. Mr. Real Estate. Oh my God. Then you have Michael Nowak. I think we went over a couple videos with Brother Polite. Amun Ray Sen Atum Ray from New York, a former gang member turned pro-Black polygamist. Oh my God, a cult. Now you all sit here and wonder why I keep saying Umar has a cult of personality. He acts like a cult leader. He literally has people around him that have cults. A polygamist. Come on now. How does that exemplify or exude the traditional Black family again? Because this ain't it. This is something else. Polite has received numerous complaints from his customers for allegedly not providing the services and products advertised on his website, which could be wire fraud. Polite allegedly scammed one Black customer out of more than $100,000. Similar to Johnson, Polite has created several GoFundMe pages to request donations to allegedly fight the white power structure. Because reasons. Polite claims to be an accomplished author, lecturer, scholar, cryptocurrency expert, and real estate guru. Y'all know how many crypto scams existed? I literally reported and researched on one of the biggest crypto scams internationally, being Novatech FX. Novatech, that was created by this married couple, Cynthia and Eddie Petillon. I have a whole playlist on my channel where I reported on them. And their crypto scam was international, and they garnered in over $1.2 billion. Billion with a B. And they finally been hit last year with charges from the SEC. And he's sitting here doing the same thing. Y'all, these crypto scams, oh man, they out of control. And of course, real estate scams, just, like a everyday occurrence at this point. Polite has provided no credentials to validate these alleged skill sets and accomplishments. Polite claims to have authored over 90 books. Polite has, who's the distributor? 90 books? What's the name of the books? What the hell? Polite has been described by his detractors as a cult leader, hotep hustler, and scammer. Because he looks like one. Look at that. You're a pimp. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up. Oh, man. This is too good. I would do a reading on this. I don't know. Y'all let me know if you want me to do a reading on this. It would have to be a separate video. It would have to be because it's 76 pages long. But, man, it's so juicy. Put a one in the chat if you want me to do a full reading of this lawsuit. I can. You don't see anything? Oh, shit. Here it is. I'm so sorry. Here it is. Oh, man. I read the first page. Oh, my God. Here's the first page, y'all. This is the letter to reopen the case. I'm so sorry. My bad. Okay, we can do a reading on it. How about this? I'll do a reading on this tomorrow. That'll be our live stream. Because this is crazy. Clay got a one. Them folks got a one. Put a one in the chat if you want me to do a full reading of this lawsuit. It's 76 pages long. That would be a whole live. This is crazy, y'all. So y'all didn't see any of the stuff. I'm sorry. You know what? Yeah, I'll make it more mysterious when I read it tomorrow. How about that? Yeah, oh my God. This stuff is chock full of just juicy stuff. Yeah, I want to read this. I want to read the whole thing. I want to go page to page to page to page. Oh my God. Y'all, the stuff that's in here is crazy. Okay, man, he said one. Mike Jones. What's going on? How y'all doing? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Okay, in 2 hours and 39 minutes. All right, we'll do a reading of this lawsuit. I'll still do a summary today. But yeah, it'll give you a taste of the full reading of this because it's exhibits in here you guys got to see. Oh man, I can't believe you guys can see. My bad. Oh my good lord, I got caught up in it. Do half. Check your email, please and thanks. Okay, cool. Will do. Carter said do half. I'll do the whole thing tomorrow because it's already well over 2 hours, and I don't want to keep you all too much longer. I wish I could pull it in like Lenon can. He could pull in 2,000-3,000 views and keep all of our interest for 5 hours straight. But I want to make sure that you guys have time so we can read through this and enjoy this reading. You will not believe the exhibits and the photos in here. This is crazy. Crazy. Y'all, this is 76 pages of goodness. Yeah, we're going to read this tomorrow. Now, y'all let me know. I need to see more ones in the chat if you want to do a reading of this. Go vegan. He's a vegan. I have to drink to go to sleep. Put a 1 in the chat. You're still here if you want a reading of this lawsuit. 1's in the chat. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. 1's in the chat if you want a full reading of this lawsuit right here. And trust me, with these photos, you're going to want to read the whole thing. You can't make this up. All these people are his supporters. All these people here. I know he still is. One of them did 2-3 videos on me. You know, never mind the fact that Umar filed a frivolous petition in bad faith because he didn't want to pay a fee or something, and it was dismissed. He couldn't even read the court rules to make sure that it was filed in the proper venue. But now, you know, his cult members talking about I'm dumb AF. Okay. Oh, what a clown. This is some crazy shit. Yo. Oh, this is so good. This is good. This is good. All right. So I'll set up a live stream to read. So Harris owns half of FDMG. Who knows? I don't think Umar owns it either. I think he's just the executive director. I have to pull up the FDMG LLC registration. I mean, that could be in his name. I don't know, but I don't think he owns the buildings because FDMG LLC is named as the second party on the deed for those 2 buildings, and he has himself listed as executive director. I mean, you're not gonna put that if you own the building. This is crazy. This is okay. So he put here request to amend this complaint if the court deems that no claim can move forward. Umar Johnson, Poetic Flacco, and Shaquem Ra Harris all have direct knowledge about Archibald v. Johnson. I allege all defendants have been constructively served through publication. Because we all know Umar does not like to be serviced. He don't like receiving service. He won't even give a physical address because where the hell does he live? So you guys see here, $75,001. That was the amount for it to be, the minimum amount for it to be heard in a U.S. District Court in that district that he resides in. I mean, it has to be $75,000 minimum. So he put $75,001. Personally, I would have made it 6 figures. Whatever these content creators earned for the amount of time they aided in the furthering of these cyber crimes, I would be asking for that money. Because Poetic Flacco has over 294,000 supporters. So you know his videos are generating him at least 5-figure checks every month. This is crazy. This is crazy. Y'all look at that. This is insane. They nothing but dox people. Yeah, you can't make this up. All right, let's get to Chat GPT so I can let you guys go. I did ask for a summary on the Umar Johnson versus Lenon Honor. It was a relatively small case, but the case summary, of course, he filed it May 18, 21. The cause of action was listed as property rights, so it's basically copyright infringement. Um, it says also the complaint also had one email as exhibit, which was irrelevant to anything because he didn't want to pay the fee. The court's initial ordered him to pay the fee or to proceed with an informal purpose known as an IFP within 30 days. Also, show cause on why it should not be transferred for improper venue. Of course, we all know it was denied and dismissed rather without prejudice, and I would have fought for it to be dismissed with prejudice because that's an abuse of copyright laws in and of itself, and you're filing, frivolous petitions in bad faith to the court. So he would not have been able to, meet his burden in that at all, not even a little bit. Let's go down to this Archibald v. Umar Johnson. The original case was filed back in 2020, and this is the original case number. In the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, so it was U.S. District Court. Archibald was pro se. I would love to get him on to have him as a guest to interview him. This is crazy. So, of course, the main claim and factual allegations of harassment, doxing, retaliation, threats. Archibald alleged that Johnson, Flacco, Harris, and associates dox, threaten, harass, and execute various types of attacks against Black people, including myself, who criticized Umar Johnson or his organization, a school that doesn't exist. He claims a 2023 swatting attempt targeting a U.S. military veteran tied to the same chain of events. Civil rights constitutional torts under 42 U.S.C. So they have some violations of U.S. Codes here listed at 1981, 1985, and 86 for race discrimination, retaliation, a conspiracy to interfere with civil rights, obstructing justice, intimidating parties and witnesses, this is related to when a person is trying to file either a lawsuit or they want to file a complaint for an investigation, and you have people intimidating and harassing and threatening those to deter them from doing that. That is considered obstruction. All right. So, and of course, intimidation of witnesses, which is what I said earlier. And then violation of 42 U.S.C. 1986, failure to prevent the conspiracy civil rights violations. So they tried to interfere, basically. State law, other tort claims, fraudulent misrepresentation. The defendants made false statements knowingly or recklessly. They doxed people. Negligence. A duty to avoid the alleged harm, breach, causation, damages, injunctive, equitable relief, and damages. Archibald seeks injunctive relief, order stopping the wrong doing. He also seeks economic damages exceeding $75,001 to meet diversity and jurisdiction thresholds. So in order for it to be filed in that district court in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, it has to meet that 75,000 threshold that we saw in the instructions from Umar v. Lenon Honor. And then, of course, they have some procedural histories and status of the original complaint that was filed December 7, 2020. Concurrently applied to proceed in form of purpose. So he did ask for a waiver on court fees. January 11, 21, he filed an amended complaint demanding a jury trial. January 29, 2021, he filed a second amended complaint with attachments, including an email. So there must have been additional issues that occurred during that time for him to amend it. IFP status court order on February 2nd, 21. The court granted Archibald's application to proceed in form of purpose under 28 U.S.C. statute 1915. So he said, hey, I can't afford the fees. They approved it. He had to show some financials to show proof that he could not afford it, and they granted it. Good deal. The court also ordered that he file a third amended complaint within 30 days and that the court may screen, renew, and possibly dismiss parts under statute 1915 E2B. We are going to read this tomorrow, so to find out what happened with the why the court was asking for an amended complaint again. Hopefully it wasn't a failure to state a claim, but it seems like that might have been the case. The court extended the time to serve process to serve the defendants to 90 days after the clerk issues summons. So we all know Umar does not like receiving service. So he probably was the reason holding this up, because he makes it impossible to serve him because he's a coward. But he doesn't mind doxing people though. And he cries victim himself, talking about, they're cyber harassing and slandering me. Blah, blah, blah. This is something else. Let me get to some comments right quick. No wonder Umar needs a legal fund. Lene should sue too. Hopefully she does. Use the 225. Shout out to you for the $4.99 super. Ladies, imagine you're at the gynecologist and you hear peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. This is Dr. King Congolicious. Let's see them cookies. Oh, God. Yeah, he would have already gone to jail. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging in there with me. 118 people still watching. I appreciate it. YouTube 225109. Ladies, rate Umar out of 10. Hit the 1. Hit the 1. Thank you all so much. Oh my God, no. Shout out to you all. We're almost done with the summary. Tomorrow, I will schedule a live and do a formal reading of the lawsuit itself. I still want to do a live on the Nature Boy series, because I don't know how this is not a cult at this point. The good old boys, or good boys, or whatever they call themselves. Seriously, that screams cult like mentality and behavior. The good boys. They named themselves an organization that did nothing but facilitate cyber crimes. And I mean, and for what? Just to blow up on YouTube? This is crazy. Oh, man. It's such a cult. It's a cult. All right. Later filings. Motion to reopen. Archibald later filed a motion to reopen the case, asserting the new adverse actions, such as the swatting, doxing, are ongoing, and asking for leave to proceed with a new or amended operative complaint. Rightfully so, because he's still doing it. In his proposed complaint, he expanded the list of defendants to include Flacco and Harris, and broadened the claims to include both federal civil rights and state tort claims. Current unknown status, it didn't pull up anything as far as what's going on. I do have access to Pacer, so I'm gonna, since this is the federal lawsuit, I'm gonna pull out what I can from Pacer. It costs to pull out those court documents, so I'll have to look through to see what all is absolutely necessary, because they charge like per sheet. It's crazy. So we're gonna do a full reading on that tomorrow, you all. This is something else. You can't make this shit up. Look at this. This is a older photo, definitely, because his YouTube channel does not look like this right now. Good guys. This is crazy. These at Poetic Flacco allegations are crazy. Unlock court files. Oh my God. Flacco has avoided addressing this video. The video focuses on the third amended complaint of Archibald v. Johnson. Is anyone able to get, maybe I need to check my email. If you could get any information with Archibald, I would love to interview him. I would love to interview him. Shout out to you, Manny. I got your email as well. I got your email, Block Anonymous, to read the blog. Okay, I'm gonna read that in the live tomorrow. I'm gonna read it in the live tomorrow, because I don't want to hold you all too much longer. This is something else, and this is Poetic Flacco's channel. 294,000 subs. And for what? Was it worth it? I mean, honestly, was it worth it, Poetic Flacco? Because it doesn't remove you from the lawsuit. It just doesn't. I think your best bet would be to cooperate. Because this clown right here, he's got it coming from multiple federal agencies. And it's not worth it trying to avoid any of this stuff. This is shout out to the Information Man show. Look at that. Come on, just said FDMG will open this February or April. moving the goalposts. My God. And this dude here, see, if they're still doing this doxing and stuff, let me tell you all something. And I want to be clear when I say this. Let me pull up. Because we're gonna go through the full lawsuit tomorrow. And I'm gonna go over the comments and the supers here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to be clear on this. Okay. I want to be clear on this. If my godmother's a federal judge, and I do understand how the law works, do you think it would be wise to attempt to do that nonsense with me? Do you really think it would be a wise thing to do that with me? Unless you have nothing to lose and you don't care, then my response will be swift, and it will be, damn, I'm going in all the way. And I'm not going to stop until I'm done. The Bible gave a warning. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Doxing people puts their livelihood and their safety at risk. When you have kids, you're putting the children at risk. You're putting people's actual physical safety at risk. And you deserve everything that comes your way when you dox someone, especially when you don't have any regard for their safety. And if you're named in a FBI complaint or a lawsuit, especially a federal lawsuit, this can also be reported to Department of Homeland Security, DHS. When you're named in these investigations and complaints and stuff, don't get mad. Own up to it. Because otherwise, why is it that people are doing this on the behest of one mere mortal that can't pay their bills or pay their attorney's fees if they needed it? You think Umar is going to get either of you, any of you people here in this good guys cult, get you an attorney? Do you really believe that he's going to pay your court fees when he can't pay his own? He can't even file a proper complaint to the court. He will leave these people high and dry if it meant not going to jail. He will throw all of them underneath the bus because that's what dumbass cult leaders and con artists like Umar does. It's a pattern of behavior. So it's not wise to sit here and just go out doxing people because you never know who you're effing with. There was no reason to dox these people. None. None at all. So I don't understand why anyone would want to do this. Why do this? I mean, I would ask any of these people that question. Why is it worth you doing this on the behest of Umar Johnson, who could not pay your attorney's fees if you wanted him to? This is a federal lawsuit. This is not a joke. This is not a game. You're talking about people's lives and their livelihoods. It has not stopped him from begging for money. So what did the doxing really do? What goal did it achieve? What was accomplished out of that? It landed you in a lawsuit. Who knows what else has happened in the pursuit of justice? What the hell do you get out of it other than some subscribers? But what does it do? If you're doxing people, when you're breaking the law, you cannot explain that to a judge in a court of law. So why do it? It's crazy. Homeland Tunde. I know. James Miller, you have not emailed me a photo or a video at all. I'm not answering any other questions from you until you send me your evidence with that vendor. Period. Stop dodging around the thing. I don't care if you're still supporting him. Send the evidence. That's it. Send the evidence. You said you were going to send videos and photos. Send the evidence. I don't care about none else that you're saying right now. Send the evidence. You either got evidence to send or you don't have a point to prove. I'm sitting here talking about people being doxxed. That's illegal. So you either sending me some evidence, some photos, videos, the vendor information you said you were going to send. I don't give a damn if you want to give him your entire paycheck. That would be on you. It would be stupid, but it would be on you. guess what? He will never return the favor and pay your bills. But if that's what you want to do, go for it. Where you said you would send? Where's that vendor information you said you would send? Otherwise, I don't care. Handling the trolls, because that's how it's done. Doesn't make sense. We're speaking in circles. I don't care about none of that. I want you to understand me, James Miller. I don't care about none of that shit you're talking about when you cannot send me evidence. None of it. Bottom line. All right, y'all. Let's get to some supers. Shout out to Andrea for the $4.99 super. Oh, man. Shout out to... I want to make sure I'm showing you guys supers as I go. Shout out to Bernice for the $9.99 super. Shout out to my mod Laura for the $2 super. I appreciate you. Shout out to Ginger Spice for the $25 super. He can't stand being questioned because he's a fraud and he has an ego problem. She asks him simple questions. He's pitiful. I just want to make sure I read you all's thing here. Okay. Andrea said, okay, everyone, let's meet the goal here on the LLC. Come on. If you enjoy the content, please and thanks, y'all. We're going to have a good time tomorrow reading that full lawsuit. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Shout out to you, Boston man. What's going on? True Count, $25 super. I appreciate it. Shout out to Andrea again for the $4.99 super. Black parents don't need Umar. He's always calling black people stupid. We need Umar because we're too slow to understand anything without him. That man. I got you. Ladies, rate Umar out of 10. Hit the 1 from user 225. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super. Let's see. User with the $4.99 super. Ladies, imagine you're at the gynecologist. I think I read that one. You hear piece of Pan-Africanism. Piece of Pan-Africanism. This is Dr. King Congolicious. Let's see them cookies. Hopefully you run up out of there. User 225 $1.99 super. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super. Sister Lene, thank you for the finger. Next time, make it 2. Lene Stacks, you up in here? Shout out to you, Lene. If you up in here, shout out to you. Yeah, I'm not stunned, James Miller. You keep saying the same shit over again, and I just don't get it. Just show me the vendor evidence and the documentation. Give me receipts. That's all we wanted. I want to thank all of you all for tuning in. I appreciate all of y'all so much. Make sure you're hitting that like button. We're going for likes. We're hitting 30,000 subs very soon. Share these videos. Share the content. Let everybody know Lady Luck Club is going to be reading Archibald v. Johnson, Poetic Flacco, the Harris person, 3 co-defendants lawsuit tomorrow. A full reading of it is going to be juicy. We're going to go over Black Anonymous link that she said that he sent for the post. And let's see. If anyone has any information with Archibald to do an interview, I would love to do an interview with him and to have him on. That would be absolutely fantastic. And I really hope that, you know, the court does reconsider this, because Umar's just, you know, he's going to duck and hide from service. I think there should be an option to do an e-serve, or, you know, you're going to have to serve it to the next family member. And who do you think that's going to be? So, you know, anyone that can get the service on his behalf and ensure that they give it to him, I think that's the person that needs to be served as well. And that can be done. I mean, he's not going to, you know, let himself be served a federal lawsuit because he's a coward. He did all this nonsense and he's going to run and hide from it. No accountability. I appreciate all of you all. And tune in tomorrow. We're going to have the reading. And I ask that all of my mods are present if you can be. I'm going to set it up for, I'll set it up for 9 o'clock because I still want to do the Nature Boy videos and the watch party with that. And then I'll do another separate live to read that lawsuit. And we're going to take our time and have a good time reading that. And hopefully be able to provide some information for Archibald to explore other options. I do recommend filing a complaint with the FBI, because this happened over electronic communications or electronic devices, and it will be interstate. It will fall under the jurisdiction of the FBI as well, because whatever the court can't do, FBI can. So, you know, don't do the crime if you don't want to pay the time. I don't know what else to tell you. Point blank. All right, y'all tune in and look out for the notification on that, and hit the like button on the way out. Leave me your comments below and let me know what you think about these lawsuits and something else. Umar, you're not very smart. All right, until the next one. Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.